All right, everybody, welcome back to Drop Dice. So we are back. We were going to play Sunday, but schedules got all mixed up because of my work. So we're back here on Monday, continuing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition and our homebrew world of Stratmur. We are down one player tonight, which is going to be Brendan due to some real-life situation that just came up on him. But that shouldn't stop us from being able to enjoy the game. We'll probably come up with some ridiculous reason why his character is not present, and I think it has something to do with him being on a floaty behind the boat. Who knows?
He's taking a piss.
That is the traditional answer. He is taking a day or two long piss in game. So let's go down the line. Tom, if you want to remind us who you are and who you are playing.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm playing Aelin Devenor, a noble from Aster. Is that how you say it? Acer?
Aesir. Mm-hmm.
Acer, there you go. Sort of politely exiled by his family for being a bit uncouth. So he's being sent to the new lands to sort of see what he can get himself.
Perfect.
Also, since I have to say it, play Guns of Icarus online.
It's on sale today. I saw it.
Dang.
Yes,
It's like,
yes it is.
it's like
I was,
three.
I was
It's like
gonna go to
three.
Murdoch and tell Murdoch to properly introduce Tom, but he did it.
No,
He
Tom
finally
has
got
been-
his own ad in.
No. This is like the second game Tom has really got it in before anybody else. Tom is making sure.
Yep.
I was going to say, I think I threw it for a curveball when I actually threw it up there that one time, because that was out of left field. I never do it.
Exactly.
All right, Murdoch, you want to go next?
Nope.
Fair enough. He just ruined your day. Murdoch is playing Orange, the Sogi, who is unique and special. And to get a full taste of it, I suggest watching the last game.
Think of the word snowflake.
What's wrong with Orange?
No, it's great because you understand what he is. And only you
In
understand
case
what he
you
is.
are new and missed last week, this is definitely kind of a beer and pretzels have fun D&D game at the moment, and we're enjoying it clearly for what it is.
Honestly, though I am out of the beer and the pretzels.
That is true. I was gonna say I don't think anybody's got beer and pretzels for the stream itself. That's it. We're gonna add that to our shopping list for the next game. We need to all show up with beer and pretzels.
Well,
Make it official.
I mean, I do have some cider, but that's not really beer.
Is it hard cider?
Is there another type of cider?
Well, yes, there is.
No, it's hard cider. Yeah.
I was gonna say that's close enough. It's got alcohol. Because let's face it, I'll probably show up with hard liquor.
There you go.
I mean, I can go get hard liquor now.
Honestly, I think in the end we could all pretty much go into our kitchens and get hard liquor. Okay, it's not happening though. Apparently.
All right, Jeremy, you want to go next?
I am Rusty, the Warforged Assassin's Creed lookalike, apparently. Actually, Rusty's mostly a burglar. He just doesn't understand the concept of life, apparently. And he's there helping out the team because he believes in the goodwill of man. That's why him and his Sogi friend Orange are good friends.
Perfect. All right.
Orange is good friends with everybody.
Exactly, his good friend Orange.
Perfect. So let's kind of recap of what happened last time. So there was a large storm that is pretty much always present, referred to as the Maelstrom, which has brought in your ship, and you guys found out that the Maelstrom was a little bit more out of control than normal, and that's what managed to wrap your ship up in it. Also, you found out that your ship was trying to dodge pirates, which once washing ashore, you found some of the locals, which the locals are the bird-like Garuda race, and they are flightless for anybody who hasn't seen the Startmur website, which is included inside the description below this video. You guys made friends with them, saw their plight, and found out that the pirates were trying to use you to further exploit the natives. You pretty much took over the boat, and I believe there's one pirate left. Am I correct?
Yes, the one we made the captain.
Yes.
who was pretty much the lowliest of the lows.
Yeah, he was
Wait, I
he was
didn't
pretty
kill
much
that
the
guy?
last one that didn't get shot.
As of right now, we have not killed him. We stopped the game
Mhm.
before we killed him
Yeah, he elected to be our friend.
because he did not want
He
to
was the guy
die.
that was still in the sail as you killed everybody, and he's like, I'm not doing this.
No, he was. Oh no, he was the guy I convinced to join us.
Yes.
Yes.
You
You
get-
fuck up that I was
Oh, I'm
like,
sorry. No, it's not the guy in the
Yeah.
sail, because you
Yeah.
shot the guy in the sail.
Because
Yeah.
you gave the guy the captain's gun, and told him to be captain. He's captain
No,
now.
I have the captain's gun.
Mhm.
Well, I think you took it back, but I could swear you gave him the
No,
gun.
wait, I think we
he
kicked
gave it
overboard.
he gave it to the first guy that you were going to make captain. Then you guys dubbed him as greedy and unacceptable. Shot him overboard and took the gun back.
I think I have the captain's hat now.
You
Probably.
have
I know you have the coat.
hat, and I was going to
And-
say I think Brendan ended up with the coat.
No, I
Yeah.
think
Brendan
we
ended
gave
up
him.
with the coat,
No,
but he's not here, so it's my coat now, bitch.
no, I could swear that it ended up with Murdoch taking the coat because it fit him better, and Brendan took the studded leather because it did not
Oh,
fit
that's right. Yeah,
Bronze at all.
yeah. The coat is a little short on you. It's almost like a
It may be a little short
like
on
a
you,
woman's coat almost, because
But
it's just not proportional to you at all.
but it's still like the most fitted thing to you.
It's kind of like, when you're at your like girlfriend's house and there's no bathrobes there, so you grab hers and it's just way too short and it's really not doing any good. That's pretty much what's happening right now. So, yeah, you guys are in new threads. You have a new ship. You have one sailor who has agreed to give up his life of piracy to help you in your plight and saving the Garuda that are here, which are the tropical variant.
The parrot bird guys.
And yes, it uses the point by cost, and when you gain new points, you adjust essentially. For anybody who's wondering where that random comment came from, essentially Murdoch, unfortunately, his computer seems to have 8 orange, so he's quickly rebuilding.
Ooh, then I need to
Luckily, it's a level 0 game, so it's not that difficult.
redistribute my points then because I did not know it was point by with those. Okay.
Remember, by the way, that your racial points don't count towards point buy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I already counted for all that.
Yay, math. Tom is proof that you will use math when you grow up.
That is
Yes.
a lie.
Math is used for role-playing games.
Yep.
And nothing else, but that should be good enough.
I was going to say, that means you only need to know how to multiply by 2 and add and subtract stuff. And
man.
you have to know greater than less than. I guess that's part of it too.
I know PEMDAS. I'm good.
So, you guys were bringing the ship around last time to the cove where the Garuda were. And that's kind of where we left things. So let's go ahead and start there. The ship has kind of come around, and it is towards... Let's see, you guys attacked the ship you first approached at nightfall, and then you came back during the broad middle of the day, so it's probably about afternoon now. So you are approaching the bay near the village about mid-afternoon, and you're going to see Garuda lined up on the beach.
Are we in my new boat?
Yes.
Okay. Trim the masts!
The one professional sailor you have goes, oh, okay. He starts going to work.
Good, good. We shall have many spoils of war. Hey, am I doing this right?
Fine job indeed, sir. Fine job.
Thank you, thank you. You're good. I will give you a treat later.
Ah, most excellent, sir.
Yeah.
Never has there been such a great captain.
Thank you, thank you.
I was going to say, for the rest of you, you can tell he's not very sincere.
Yeah.
Orange just believes.
Orange is smiling, a gummy smile, just...
Alright. Anyway, I'll call down to our wayward friends and say, "What ho! We've acquired the ship."
The elder approaches, and he's kind of got a group of warriors who spotted the ship earlier, and they've been kind of popping in and out of trees along the beach line as you guys have been coming around the small island. The elder approaches and he says, "Excellent. We can leave this place before the rain season comes. Please drop the anchor and come ashore. We will celebrate."
I like the sound of that.
I do too.
So, drop anchor, come ashore.
Okay. So, when you make it ashore, you're met by Lady Catherine and Timmond, who you left behind with the village as well. Garrett Fortknife.
You mean the brave Fortnite?
Yes.
Garrett Fortknife has been with you the whole time, and he's been kind of tending to the ship as best as a completely unskilled laborer can. But Timmond will actually look over the ship, and he'll go up the gangplank and everything, and he'll actually take a look at some of the fastenings and stuff like that. And you can tell he's making different adjustments and things like that to make the ship perform a little bit better than it was. The gun is a Renaissance gun pistol from DMG page 254, something like that.
And a coat.
Let me pull up the mass document here because it's in there.
Murdoch, that's for you.
268.
1 second.
Is that Soga, or is that Orange?
No. What do you think that is? That's
Fortnite.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
That's because you're the one who wants to be the bard-like guy. So titles.
Yep. So you are welcome back to the village, and they ask you to tell us the tale of how you were able to acquire the ship.
Gather around, friends.
Tell them about the story of Fortnite.
Let me tell you the story of the hero Garrett Fortknife, the hero of Garada, conqueror of pirates and slayer of wild beasts. And then I throw some shit into the fire for it to go.
Like it sparks up and changes the color slightly, and Garrett's over there like.
For the record, I have persuasion and I have a really high charisma at this point.
So, Chris, when Garrett's like pointing at himself like, what? I will give a pat on the back. Don't be so humble. Go bask in the glory. I'll push him in
the back, but it's like a little too hard, so he stumbles forward.
Exactly what I was trying to do.
My performance for this is a 21.
Nice.
So I go off and I just like, this tale is just grandiose. I tell how the mighty hero, I don't have players' names up on the thing, so I don't know players' names.
I'm Rusty.
Rusty, the mighty Warforged that snuck around and slew the enemy from behind, evening the numbers, which I have no clue about.
No, it's fine. He doesn't argue about it. He doesn't say anything. He stays quiet.
Soga, the negotiator / captain of the ship somehow. And then the noble, their fearless leader, who led them with glorious plans into battle. And the mighty warrior Gareth Fortknife.
Our grand leader. He planned it all.
Okay. They listen to your tale, and of course you kind of embellish and throw in some like powders and things like that to change the flame and coax it and things like that. And
That was for the players, not you, Chris.
Okay. I was going to say, let me throw those in there. Timmond and Lady Catherine are the other two. So as you begin to tell the tale, you can see the crowd is kind of like leaning in at the right moments. They're following your cues. When you like make a swooshing sound with your hands, you can see the whole crowd kind of like start to shift with it, and they're getting really into the story. By the end of it, what ends up happening is for any of you that have any injuries, which I think you guys escaped that battle without
Nope.
without any sort of injuries.
I have an injury.
Okay. The food that they've prepared for you will actually grant you a boon towards your healing, essentially. So you're going to be able to roll a d6 and gain that many hit points.
Even though I'm Warforged?
Yes.
Alright. Doesn't matter. All I need is 1 hit point.
It's basically the festivities.
Yeah.
The rest that they're providing you is a superior rest, if you will.
But yeah, no, I got hurt because of being underwater for too long.
Yeah. Okay. As kind of the afternoon becomes to evening, the elder turns around and he says, "We have prepared food and rations for the journey. I believe it would be in our best interest to go to Carrion Bay. We can start over there for the flood season. There's plenty of dry land and shelter if you wish to join us."
I'm waiting for the noble to tell me what I'm doing with my new ship.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Did I have a specific location in mind, or it's just gonna I'm just gonna find a place and then claim it?
No, this is
You're a nobleman.
I was gonna say this is kind of like when Spain went to America. It's just like we're gonna claim some stuff.
It's like we're gonna go this way. Oh man, this is in here. It's our fucking land. Fuck all y'all.
All right.
You're Spain. Be Spain.
Which, I mean, to be fair, you guys have a much better relationship with the natives than the Spaniards did.
Don't be Spain. Be better than Spain.
All right.
Spain, you're kind of a jerk when you haven't had a Snickers.
That reminds me. I need to make a flag. I'll just wander around planting it in things.
Oh, wait a minute! Wait a minute!
I was gonna say you are a
So
noble,
this
so
is-
you do have a family crest.
Hold on, this is orange. Orange. Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Ellen, can I be your privateer? He's freaking out, like he's actually doing those maneuvers.
Well, I don't have an immediate need for one, but in the course of events,
For Elland, during this time, pirates are a little bit unheard of, but privateers are considered an upstanding resource for nobles, and actually a pride point when discussing political things is to say that you have privateers at your disposal.
oh, interesting. It's he looks like he's gonna start to protest, but thinks about it for a second.
Orange is starting to cry a little bit.
Well, under normal circumstances, I wouldn't just take anyone to be my privateer. But under the circumstances, and seeing you certainly are capable of running a ship, yes, I believe you can be my privateer.
Ah! He runs over and hugs Ellen.
Okay, yes, this is the thing. Okay,
For the
stop.
record,
Yeah, it's
remember, I'm
awkward,
like
'cause-
9 feet tall, so you're up off the ground.
I was gonna say it's awkward because he's cradling you like a babe.
I go, Rusty,
What's up?
you must be my first officer. I don't know where you went during the fight. Remember, for the record, the story said you stuck around to kill people.
No, I know. Well, how would I say this?
He starts to
You don't-
starts to sniffle again like he's gonna cry.
Orange, listen. Of course I'll be your first mate. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah! He runs over, tries to lift up Rusty, and he's like, "This isn't working, dude." And then he just shakes his hand profusely.
Okay. So the elder has laid out a good example of a place for you to go, and has said that he's got rations enough for everybody to make it there, and give you some to start your journey wherever you go. But he's invited you to stay in Carrion Bay.
Alright. Well, regardless, at the very least, it sounds like an excellent place to start. We shall come.
Okay. So, do you guys have any interest in taking care of the dire ape that's on the other smaller island?
Not really.
Because it really won't bother you, because it's stuck on an island and it can't swim.
And it eventually die on its own anyways.
It will.
I mean, yeah. What are we gonna do with it?
Do with what?
You know that I was gonna say, you know that the pirates were going to sell it as an exotic pet, and right now there's a lot of trade, and that's one of the things that a lot of people, like nobles and things like that, tend to buy. Is just these random weird pets from different countries. It's not usually a good idea, though. Like safety reasons, like having an 800-pound dire gorilla inside your house is not a good plan.
Yeah. Were I a different man, I might try to tame it for myself, but,
Tame what, my liege?
Huh? Oh, the giant gorilla thing that chased us off the other island.
There was a giant gorilla thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Didn't you hear? That's the reason we came over in the middle of the night last night. Because there was that giant gorilla which chased us off.
Oh. Was that what you were trying to tell me last night? And I was just like, eh?
Probably, yes.
Okay. Do we have to go kill it?
I'm sure nature will take its course.
It's true. It will.
I'm sorry, just whenever I hear someone say, I'm sure nature will take its course, I think of The Simpsons.
Are we sure it's not going to become some crazy kaiju and get bigger and bigger? And then,
there's only one way. There's only one way.
Somebody's going to come to this island with a big boat, trying to bring it back to the mainland as a circus attraction.
Orange, look it. By the time it becomes, if it somehow lived that long, we'd probably be gone by then. It's not our problem.
What you're saying is it's not our problem.
Well, I mean, I might still be alive, so it might be my problem in the future, and I'll have to remember that. But,
I'm only 110 years old, man.
Orange will probably be alive that long.
And hold on, Chris? When were Warforged created? Because I don't think you actually how long ago in the history.
So it's not specifically defined.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I don't remember reading anything.
I would say that they're a fairly new race. Let's say probably something like within the last 1,000 years, which given that this is a high fantasy setting, that's relatively a new race.
All right. I just wanted to make sure because that might come up soon.
Like there are. Did I give the Warforged a disabled period when they stop? I don't think that the original rules do.
I don't think.
Let me double check. Let me see how old they are, because my intent is to have basically, you may not be necessarily one of them, but like the first generation Warforged are still walking around.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Nope, there's nothing about it. So you guys can live indefinitely, which is fine by me.
I mean, that'll rust away unless we take care of ourselves, kind of thing.
I will add this tidbit though, just because I think it's hilarious. Warforged do have a tendency to eventually become bored after so many hundreds of years of existence, and have been known to walk into the ocean and face their own death.
Lucky enough, I don't think I'm at that point.
And then the rust vampires came.
They don't exist, do they?
Only in campfire stories around the Warforged nations.
It is merely a tale told to the young.
A performance of 19. I start telling the dirty tales of the rust vampires.
Okay.
The dirty tales. I'm like, what?
So yeah, actually, rust vampires are a thing. I wasn't intending to bring it up just this early, but they are a thing. They do exist in Barishtar. They are warforged who have lived beyond their intended purposes. Essentially, there's a fun little line that talks about Barishtar inside the description that says many have turned to the sea to find new purpose and fair trade, and others in privateering. Some have also just walked into the sea and died, but some of them actually, as the legend goes, they walk into the sea and they may have been more powerful, had arcane energies or divine, which the Warforged generally don't worship, just because they have a strange disconnect since a mortal created them. The Warforged, it's believed that a Warforged that finds faith in gods can find rebirth, and that the Rust vampires are essentially Warforged that have been reborn into one of the more evil gods, or at least one of the gods that wants a darker servant. One of the gods that particularly gets the credit for them is actually Beta Nazhel, Beta Nazhel, which is the goddess of illness and suffering. Khazra also receives some of it, and that is Khazra the Unseen, which is plants and revenge.
Some strange purviews.
Mm-hmm. As far as information on those gods, because that's part of the stuff that you'll find out, is the symbol for Khazra is black antlers with twisted vines, and Beta Nazhel is a snail.
Orange is so ridiculous.
Tell a good enough story, whether it's right or not, it probably is truth.
What was the number on your roll?
A 19.
19? Okay. Then you would get one more piece of information. The
Performance is Orange's knowledge.
Yes. Because essentially what you're doing is you're getting like stories and things like that and telling it.
Oral history.
You're choosing to believe 100% what you're saying, what these stories say, though. Like, I'm just telling you what the stories are. They may or may not be true.
Well, I just assume Orange is making the shit up as he goes.
Mm-hmm. Some of it you've heard, some of it you've extrapolated into your own stories.
Yeah.
The last one that you've heard of is Malkor, who's the Watcher of Souls in Ruination. While an evil god believes that the Rust vampire should be destroyed. His domains are death and destruction. His symbol is a black iron coffin nail.
So, after all those harrowing tales of heroism and rust vampires, who's ready for bed?
I believe
No, go ahead.
I believe I am. I like a good rest before a long journey, especially one such as many twists and turns as this one.
Sir. Sir Alan.
What? Yes?
My lord. The men have not been paid. If I grant them fully, they must be paid.
Yes, the men must be paid.
We have not been able to relocate others' assets yet.
It's a little early to be paid, don't you think?
They've done their job diligently, and now they're getting shore leave.
Keep in mind he has 3 crew members.
Got a first mate here, man.
So it's a ship total of crewing of 4 people, 2 of which are unskilled.
5.
No, you have Timond, who's a ship hand. You have the man that you made a Your first mate, who you still have not gotten his name.
No, the
No.
first mate is
I'm first mate.
Oh, that's right. You changed it to Rusty. The original first mate, the one that survived. You still haven't gotten his name. He's a skilled laborer. And then you have Rusty, who's the first mate, who's unskilled. And then the captain, who's unskilled.
I am 100% skilled. I just don't know what I'm skilled in yet.
If you have a profession and it's related to ships, then yes, you count as a skilled laborer.
I am a robot. I'm skilled in many things.
All right, Bender. Next, you're going to say death to all humans.
Whoa. Just to some of them.
Except Fry.
okay. So
Except Orange.
I'm gonna look. Hey, I'm Sogan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at Ellen and be like, sir, they need to be paid.
All right. Question for the DM: how much would I actually pay them? Because I probably would know the amount.
Let's see, 5th edition. Murdoch, do you remember what those numbers are off the top of your head? I think it's a silver a day for unskilled or for skilled.
I can get it. I can get it.
I was gonna say I want to say it's like a silver a day for skilled labor and like 5 copper for unskilled.
Yes. I need
Hireling, 2 silver pieces a day for untrained, 2 gold pieces per day for a trained.
Wow, they boosted that up.
Yeah, that's expensive.
I gotta
Yeah,
say,
we
man,
should
skilled laborers
probably
live like
knock
kings.
that down to a more appropriate number.
Because that's ridiculous. Because what is it for a king? Like
I was gonna say if they adjusted that, they probably adjusted the higher stuff too.
they better have, because I'm like, in previous editions, kings were like what, like 5 gold.
That or they made the economy a little bit more stable instead of having like dirt poor and drastically rich like they did in previous editions.
Well, no, they had drastically rich, dirt poor, and then drastically poor. Dirt poor, in the middle of the ground.
A price per day for lifestyles for the absolute highest lifestyle is 10 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they didn't really adjust it, Chris.
They kind of did.
They must have adjusted in other places, because I mean those numbers are.
To be fair, at 2 gold pieces per day for this cockbite, he's living at a comfortable life.
Which means that he has a simple home, he eats good food.
You better be living a comfortable life with 2 gold pieces a day.
You don't really have anything to offer them as trade either, is kind of the issue at the moment.
See, for me, it kills me because 2 silver pieces is poor and then 1 gold piece is modest. I would probably say it's 2 silver pieces and then a gold piece a day for a skilled. Because it says laborers live a modest life.
That's what I would probably think too. Shush, stupid phone. So how would you like to handle this one?
Ugh. Well, I do have 25 gold, I mean, from my noble background, but
Rich motherfucker.
I'm gonna say that would have stayed with you.
all right. So I can.
That would have been something that you probably would have tucked into like an inner pocket of a jacket, and it would have been a little bit more secure.
All right. So I might be able to pay these guys up until we get to where we're going. And on the one hand, on the other.
Captain, you've been quietly informed by Timmond that the journey to Carrion Bay, if he's estimating your location correctly, should take 3 days.
Oh.
Very good. Crewman,
Yeah, 3 days. All right.
I shall get you a treat tonight.
You know, I'm going to err on the side of being magnanimous to my underlings, and I'll just pay them.
I like that the Soga here is like giving treats to his crew members as a privateer. Like I imagine him like once you get to land, buying candy and just giving them like candy.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's gonna go to like the Pete the Bird people, and he's gonna be like, "May I have some fruits like bananas and oranges?" And then tonight he's going to go hand those out. That's sweet.
Hmm.
All right, as the
So he's gonna pay you, yeah.
the good noble gives me the money, I will walk around and pay the men, and be like, "Our Lord Ellens has given me your pay for your shore leave today," and then I hand them their money for like the day that they've been employed by us.
Okay.
So, how much was it again for unskilled?
We
We're gonna
got
say that we're gonna adjust it a little bit. So skilled labor inside Stratmur is gonna be 1 gold. Unskilled will be 2 silver.
Do you count us as skilled or unskilled, Tom?
Yes, this is actually very important. You see my skills.
I was gonna say if you lack a skill that says that you're a sailor, then you're unskilled.
Yeah.
Whoa,
like-
that's according to book rules, but according to what he actually believes.
Well, here's the thing. On the one hand, I am reasonably certain they don't know how to sail a ship. But on the other hand, they can clearly fuck shit up.
I was gonna say, and technically for the captain, his skill should be leadership, not necessarily being a person who can use a ship. Although he should have that eventually as well.
Yeah.
Kind of is trying to lead us.
Yeah. I don't know if the Marines of a ship would be paid differently than the actual sailors of the ship, but
You would look at their job and assume if they're skilled for their job, kind of thing.
yeah, I'll pay you with skilled labor.
Yes.
A gold. I
That's
have
old
more
HB
gold than the
parties.
noble now.
Hold on, how much gold do you have?
26 now.
Damn it, I only have 14 gold and 15 silver.
I also have a noble background.
Which is great because you're Soga. That means you grew up in a temple city and you had really close ties to the monks since you're not actually a monk yourself.
Yeah, that's what we talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys spend the evening kind of peacefully amongst the Garuda, and the next few days is kind of prepping the ship since you guys aren't going to mess with the giant ape on the other island. We're not going to worry about that. Once the ship is fully loaded,
Fruit, by the way.
that's fine.
Okay.
Once the ship is fully loaded, the Garuda will join you, and they'll point out some different locations on the map, and they'll start to adjust your course by suggestions of the Garuda because they've traveled this many times. So basically what they're doing is it's going to be about the same amount of distance because they're taking shortcuts in certain areas, but they're taking longer ways around others. And they tell you that it has to do with the earth spirits and things like that, the nature spirits that are around there. In one area, they just say that that the tempest is too wild in this region.
Would any of them like to join the crew?
Yeah, because you actually will need some permanent crew hands.
Actual crew hands who can sail. Always a good
Which
idea.
your ship, by the way, needs 6 functional members per shift, essentially. You happen to get 6 Garuda that were interested.
All right.
So you have enough men to skeleton crew the ship if you need to.
Well, 6 Garuda who can sail, plus the 2 we already had that can sail, plus us 2.
Yep.
Well, no, we only have one that can sail previously.
No, you have the guy that you still haven't gotten a name for, who's a human.
We're calling
Yeah.
him Timmy for now.
You have 6. I wouldn't call him Timmy because you also have Timond.
All right, we're gonna call him James.
Shit. As the captain, I need to keep track of all their names now.
Okay.
You have Bird 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
But
I
if
don't
you just
know.
want to give me descriptions in chat, I'll take them down.
Yeah. And you have it's basically 2 humans, 6 Garuda that know how to sail, and then yourselves you can eventually figure out how to sail. Let's see here. Pulling up the Garuda name list because They're Tibetan names for these guys.
What? May I ask what kind of ship is this? A keelboat, I assume, or something?
This is a slip, actually. It's not meant for deep sea travel. It's been modified, so it's reinforced on the hull. It'll go deep water, but not too terribly deep water. You pretty much are going to have to skirt around islands to get around.
Okay.
Because of the modifications, it is a little slower than a normal slip would be. They are all the same tribe, so I'm just giving you the tribe name once.
All right.
Cool.
Those are the... Or hold on. Those are the males, and then you have 2 females as well. And then for your human that you have not received a name, are you actually going to take his name while you're getting the Garuda as well?
Yes.
Or are you just going to leave him unnamed? That is Stuart Livingston. The tribe that you guys are selecting these from is the Jutandara tribe. They all share the same tribe name.
What's the other human that we don't? Timmond?
Timon.
Yes, Timmond Howard.
Timmond Howard. And Lady Catherine is with us, is she not?
She is. Lady Catherine Lovefin is with you, and she is more than happy to go to Carrion Bay. And if you guys are willing to take her somewhere else, she would even do that. She basically does not want to be here once the rain starts, because that's basically death.
Okay. I will put someone on the lookout for any ships that we can privateer.
Okay. The Garuda that you have on board, as far as Garuda are concerned, because as a Soga, you would have a little bit more knowledge of the Garuda as a whole, because your nation was at war with them recently. The Garuda that you have are the tropical, which is the more rare version of them. The most common are the Raptor, which is what you guys fought in wars and things like that. These guys are more like druids, so having them on board is a totally different beast than having like combatants on board. They do things like, instead of rowing the boat, they push the water around the boat to propel it forward. They're using a lot of like mysticism and magics to kind of get the boat going where it needs to be. The one that you say to keep a lookout for boats, he's commanding seagulls to scour the area.
Okay.
That works.
All right.
Okay. Because he's commanding those seagulls to scour the area, is once you guys get away from the shoreline, the seagulls will land on your boat, and you'll have to deal with them actually being there, which is bothersome since it's like 10 seagulls, but you can deal with it.
Mine?
I choose not to care.
I'm pretty much a walking statue. I'm used to dealing with birds.
I'm sitting there at the helm, just going.
I choose to make it someone else's problem.
No, Orange. I'm gonna eventually
It's
need
technically my problem, and I'm choosing not to care.
Okay.
Yes, first mate Rusty.
I'm eventually gonna need a cool-looking hat like that too.
At first port.
The captain's hat.
At first port, we will do so. However, and I'll just reach down and grab a seagull feather, and I'll like kind of, man, bring me some sap so I may attach this to your head.
I'll take it. I'll take it and just stuff it into like my breastplate.
You just find like an open joint and kind of
Yep.
stick it in there.
Yep.
Okay. So you will also find that the Garuda, when they come aboard, they've provided some extra weapons and things like that. So if you guys want to take advantage of it, they do have heavy crossbows, hand crossbows, rapiers, and scimitars available.
I have a pistol.
I still am only proficient in daggers, and I've been doing pretty well with them.
Okay.
May I ask how many rounds for this pistol I have?
You have 3 left.
Okay.
So I will take a hand crossbow, to go along
sorry.
with my.
You actually have more than that because you would have had access to the captain's quarters by now, so you have 13 left. Because you found an extra horn and some bullets inside the captain's
Did I find a
quarters.
bandolier to like put it in?
Yeah, I mean, that was on the captain's dead body. You could easily grab that.
Okay.
So Chris, I'm gonna actually take a hand crossbow because I feel like it might be good in the future.
Okay.
To go along with my my apparently Batman-like rope. They had the harp. They had the
harpoon,
mini wrist harpoons.
Mhm.
Oh, I forgot that I want one of those.
Wait, they had a couple of them.
I was going to say, there was one for each of you, actually, if you wanted to take them. Which they're basically wrist-mounted hand crossbows.
Yes. Yes, I will take one of them, because it sounds awesome.
And then they also have, I was going to say, they also have that steel tether on them, too. You can load them with crossbow bolts or the harpoon bolts, which you can change. But changing
When I can be
is
Scorpion,
basically
why would I not be
taking it apart.
Scorpion?
Yeah.
I need to be more Assassin's Creed, and this is making me work.
They've
Fuck,
also
we're
brought
going
some different
gritty.
tools.
Gritty all the way.
They've also brought some tools with them, which would be like herbalism kits, painting supplies, and wood carving tools for anybody who's interested in those things. The Garuda are very free in sharing with their materials. They don't care if you take something. They make no big deal out of it, and they expect nothing in return.
My guess is they expect that everybody is doing the same, therefore everybody gets
Yes,
everything.
They assume that everybody does the same. You'll notice that because you've spent longer time with them now, you'll notice that age delineates respect and the amount of basically extras that a person is allowed. So, like, the elder out of the Garuda's food always gets the best of the food, whereas the younger kids end up eating things that like maybe are on almost spoiled side, or they get smaller portions, kind of depending on what they're eating for the meal.
I'm actually gonna make sure anything I have, except for the hand harpoon and my money, I'll pretty much let anybody else have access to it.
Okay.
Goodwill to the people.
As you guys go through your things, because you're working on a ship, there's like loose nails and stuff like that. You get tears in your clothes, and the Garuda will always tend to those things as you're traveling. And your 3 days at sea pass without much of a hitch. You do encounter some foul weather, which kind of tosses things around and gets you off course for a little while. But thanks to Timmond and Seward, you were able to get yourselves righted fairly quickly. You basically only lose about 4 hours, which is pretty good for having to weather a storm. Once you make it to Carrion Bay, this is a large bay that kind of opens up, and it's much like the normal land that you guys are used to, but it's kind of foreign and strange at the same time. The classic traditional features that you expect to see when traveling in Stratmur, which is during the dry season, the waters are lower, so there's like a lower mesa, and then there's a steep like cliff face, and then it becomes another mesa where that's where most people live most of the year, is on that higher ground, because then they don't have to move when the rainy season happens. But families with wealth and trade power do typically hold homes that are on the lower mesa as well as the upper mesas. On the lower mesa, you're going to see stone buildings that are just covered with algae. They've been sitting out in the sun. The algae's all dried out and crispy. so they're easy to take down. But these houses have been untouched for a while. The Garuda, once you've made shore, they'll take you down kind of a long pier, which they're going to insist that you come with them, at least for the night, even if you choose to travel on from here. During your travels, the Garuda will kind of tell you some different stories and legends, and the one that actually sticks with you, especially you, Orange, is the Garuda's story of how the world was created. And the way that the Garuda believed that the world was created is that there was a great god that is basically embodied by an eagle, particularly giant eagles. That the world itself is an egg, and that it spins in a strange motion that keeps the world in the way that it functions. That everything is a cycle, but the cycle is not quite perfect, is the way that the Garuda look at it. Just the way that an egg is round, but not quite perfectly round.
Okay.
They believe that the first creatures to inhabit Stratmur were actually birds, and particularly the eagle, who was the god of the sky, or the king of the sky, felt that the land needed more. It needed to be tended to and cared for, so he laid 3 eggs. Of those 3 eggs sprang forth the 3 types of Garuda. There were other gods and spirits that created the other races, but this is how the Garuda came to understand their own existence inside the world. They believe that now the great eagle has ascended and become the sun or the larger sun that travels over Stratmur, which is kind of a golden yellow. But they believe that all giant eagles and eagles maintain an aspect of their god, which by listening to the story, you kind of, as close as you can tell, you kind of correlate their god that they're speaking of to Elo, which they will refer to him as Elo because that's what the common world knows it as, which is the god of illumination.
Okay. I take it all in for my stories later.
Mm-hmm. You'll also find that they have a fondness for Sion, who's the goddess of the natural way, which makes sense for them. Yeah, exactly. Which makes sense for them as the nature-related Garuda. When you've made it to Carrion Bay, though, they take you ashore, and you're going to see that there's a human settlement that has kind of cropped up and taken over these houses, and the Garuda seem genuinely surprised. They look to all of you and they say, "My lord, we appreciate your time with us and the escort to our lands. It appears that we have new neighbors that we must meet with. I'm sure if you were interested, they may have some information on what it is you seek."
I thought I turned out an offer like that. Lead on.
So the Garuda will kind of disperse, and they're going to begin talking to the people. The Garuda will go to where their traditional homes are, some of these stone structures, and find that humans have taken up residence inside them. And the Garuda don't seem to care. They start to try and walk in buildings and set their stuff down, and the humans are just not having any part of it. They're trying to kind of hold them back, bar them from entry, and they're yelling at them. The elder will eventually come forward, and he starts waving his hands, and he gathers his people. The elder goes and he speaks with pretty much the first human that he comes across, which is kind of this guy who's very, very soot-laden. It looks like he's probably a laborer. He may be a blacksmith, or he may just be a blacksmith's apprentice. With as much soot as he has on him, he probably mainly stokes the fire. He probably doesn't even do much of the work if he is. And the two of them talk for a little bit, with their conversation being a little bit further than you can hear from your current distance. Do you wish to do anything to intervene?
Hmm. Yeah, I think I will. I'll just, like, walk up and ask what the problem is.
All right,
Okay.
just out of curiosity, we still have our actual crew, right? The ones that stayed from the
Yes.
Tower cry?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to look at Ellen as he starts going forward, and I'll say, my lord, you hired privateers.
Yes.
Do you wish us to deal with this?
I wish to understand the situation before I come to any judgments.
You heard him, men! Ready your weapons!
No readying weapons yet. Just wait until I say anything, okay?
Okay. Tom, you're kind of crackling. If you could refresh your hangout, that should fix it.
I still tell the men to ready the weapons.
I sneak away.
Totally fine.
How about now?
There we go. So, you say I'll go look into this, and then as you start to walk away, you're gonna hear steel shattering or like steel rattling again. When you look back, Rusty's gone. The men are armed.
Truly, the gods have set a trial before me.
So as you approach, you kind of hear this conversation, and this man is the blacksmith's apprentice or whatever he may be, seems to be screaming at him, and he says, "How dare you come to our village? You're nothing but a blight on this land." And then the elder looks kind of confused, and he says, "Forgive me, I do not understand what is going on." The human pipes up again. He says, "You and your birds, you've been destroying our lands and killing killing our animals. If we catch you in this village, we'll burn you to death, just like we did on the last bird."
At this point, I will literally be like, whoa, calm yourself, good sir. I'm sure this is just a misunderstanding. I have been with this particular tribe of birds, and they have done no such thing.
He looks you up and down, and he kind of scowls, and then it suddenly comes to him that your ratty clothes are still the clothes of a noble, even though they're a little bit scarred from worse for wear. He kind of dusts his hands off, and he says, "Forgive me, my lord." And he clasps his hands in front of him. "I did not know that you had brought your servants with you. Any servants of your house are welcome inside the village. We are short for available housing, though."
I see. And just where did this housing come from? Did you make it yourselves?
"No, my lord. We arrived here, and the land provided."
Ah, I see. So you came here, found these houses, and decided to move in. And yet when someone else decides to do the same, you object.
"When we came, these houses were abandoned, my lord. These savages do not know the common law of the land."
Ah, yes, the old finders keepers rule, I imagine.
He kind of looks at you and he says, I'm sorry, my lord. Are you not from Acretia?"
Oh, sorry, yeah. No, I am from Azar.
"Ah, our neighbors to the south. You see, in Acretia, they have dictated that anyone who comes to these lands may lay claim to any land that is available. But a man may only set forward a area of 5 acres of his own. We have decided to join together and form a village here, albeit it's during the dry season, and we will have to move again. We have not laid our claim just yet, but we will defend these homes as if they were our own."
I see.
To give you an idea, if you look at the Stratmur map, the the Restless Sea, and then you can see the Maelstrom. There's like a peninsula that kind of comes up and forks over. You guys are actually in that bay. That's Carrion Bay.
Okay. Is it toward the southern end of the continent?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
It's like just a little south of the Maelstrom itself.
Okay. How much do I want to help these bird people?
The elder speaks up and he says, "We are native to the land. These buildings do not matter. They are simple shelter. The land will provide us with new shelter." And he takes his people and he starts walking just a little bit outside of the village, and they start setting up camps.
Well, glad to see that cooler heads have prevailed. Though I am a bit concerned about what you were saying earlier. Apparently there are others of his kind which have been giving you trouble.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course there are. There's the Raptors. They conduct raids occasionally, looking for food and other things. They seem to think us easier prey than some of the bovine and bison that roam these lands. The free lands, by the way, are very acrid and kind of dry. Whereas, like in Aesir is almost like Germany kind of feeling. It's like forest, woods, very clean air.
Yes, a bit dry for my temperament, but what can you do? I see. Well, regardless, do not think that I am uncaring. I would hope to resolve the situation with the more predatory birds before too long. But rest assured, the ones that I came with are most peaceful, and as you can see, most accommodating. So I'll be very disappointed if I hear there was any kind of altercation with them later. Do I make myself clear?
I understand, my lord, but they must tell their sky-dwelling brethren to leave our cattle alone. We don't have many cows, and I can't stand for us to lose much more livestock to this eagle that torments us.
I'm afraid I'm not certain exactly how much of a rapport they have with the eagles, but rest assured I shall look into this.
Okay. Let's go to Rusty. Rusty, you kind of snuck around. You were able to make out the conversation, and the big thing that kind of catches your ear is kind of the same thing that definitely caught Tom's ear as a player, which is he mentions that there's an eagle that's snatching up cattle and livestock.
Yeah, he didn't say. He separated the usage of the word eagle from the raptor brethren. I'm going to keep on sneaking around, see if I can find any more information about this eagle. More or less, try to sneak around to any of the people who are the actual farmers or who have livestock.
Yeah, that's actually pretty easy. Once you get away from kind of where the big cluster of people are, you can start to see different people, and they're definitely from Acretia. The people here are mainly humans, but there's also a few halflings and half-orcs. The halflings themselves are a bit of a strange race. Warforged generally don't have a problem with them, but they're believed to be cursed.
As long as they don't do anything to me, I'm not going to bother them, but definitely keep the eye out on them.
Okay.
Until then, I'm gonna keep on trying to find out any. I'm trying my best to find out any information I can based on this bird, without actually talking to anybody. I don't want people to be aware of my presence.
Okay, so you're basically kind of eavesdropping and moving around the city. So yeah, you're gonna hear kind of rumors, and they're gonna say, Pin had his cattle stolen from him last night. And then there's a woman who responds, and she says, "Oh, how many cattle?" And he says, "Well, Pin said that 3 of them were taken and 1 was found dead. A horrible sight, blood everywhere. The other cows are scared to even leave the barn at the moment, or their pen at the moment." Which his name is PNN.
All right. If they're not going on with that conversation, if they're moving on after that, I will go check out.
Yeah, they kind of changed to like normal like discussions of the city. Like the woman seems to be a baker.
Yeah.
The guy is ordering bread, and they're discussing daily events.
I'm gonna see if I can find this so-called pen.
Okay.
See if I can figure out any clues.
Absolutely. So you kind of start wandering through the village, and you manage to get directions in a very subtle, at least in your opinion, way of doing it, to where Pin's house is. You'll arrive at a small stone structure that has a hastily built wooden pen, or that's off to the side. Inside, you're going to see that there are about a dozen cows left that are all cowering as close as possible to the building. These buildings are very short and square. Like, there's no fanciness, no intricate engineering at all. They're just little squat square buildings. Let's go back over to the privateers real quick. The sword rattling is dying down because it looks like things have kind of settled.
So Orange looks pretty unhappy with the fact that it's settled. Then he goes, "Oh well, men. Next time! No ship is to leave the bay. We are blockading until we know the truth of this."
Okay. Let's see here. Who would do it? Seward will come to you and he says, "Captain, do you wish to take leave before we set up the blockade?"
Wish to take leave?
To leave the ship before we set up the blockade. Okay. They'll pull anchor and they'll start drifting out into the bay a little bit, and the bay is actually pretty closed off. So he's found a pretty decent spot for you guys to set up to where ships could go by you, but you're going to open fire on them, but well before they even get through the channel.
Do we have cannons?
Yeah.
Nice.
This was a pirate ship. Of course we do.
Yeah, you guys have 3 on each side.
Nice.
All right.
So that may be concerning to some of the people in town.
Whoa, we're just
3 on each
protecting
side, and you have, let's see here, it's chain shot that's on board, which is specifically meant to destroy ship sails
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly. And you've got about 24 shots. So make them count is kind of the short answer on that one.
Okay. Make sure the guns are ready.
Okay. You're
Master of Arms.
Nobody seems to respond to that because you haven't assigned that title.
Where's Gareth Fortnite?
He's our chef.
You call for him, he comes up, he's covered in like flour, he's got an apron on.
I thought I made you Master at Arms.
No, Captain, you made me the chef.
Specifically, I made him my chef.
Oh. Then you're doing great work, for I have not gone hungry yet. Who among you wishes to be Master at Arms?
There's a little bit of confusion because the Garudas don't seem to understand the term Master at Arms. After a little bit, like Rabton and Nuba will raise their hands, like just kind of like, okay.
Timid, I'm glad you volunteered.
Timid is over there like trying to fix a cleat, and he looks up and he's like I don't already have enough stuff to do. He gets up, rubs his pants, and he goes, all right. He goes below deck, and you hear the guns starting to get loaded.
What does Timid actually do on the ship?
He's actually just a ship hand. He usually handles like actually manipulating the sails and things like that.
Oh, okay.
But he knows enough about sailing because he's professionally a sailor.
Yeah.
That you can put him in pretty much any position.
Okay.
He has shown that, or sorry, not him. Seaward has shown that he is skilled at navigation.
So he's our navigator.
So he's our navigator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so you guys on shore will see the cannons coming out.
It'd be rather confusing to Ellen. He's like, he walks away from this conversation, he sees his boat leaving, he's like, wait, what?
And then after a little bit, you see like the door panels flop down, and you hear like the thunk, thunk, thunk from the wood, and then like cannons come right
Are
up
the cannons
side.
pointing towards shore?
Both sides.
Both sides of cannons are pointing towards shore?
No. There's one side pointing towards shore, and then there's another side that's pointing towards the open bay.
It's like, okay, Ellen's gonna panic slightly. Just go, no! No!
So, Orange, you see Ellen waving his arms and running down the pier.
God damn.
Ellen, there is a rowboat if you want to take it out to him.
Is there anyone nearby?
No, not really.
Oh, I wanted to order a peasant to row me out. Alright, well, he will sigh as if this is the greatest challenge man has ever faced, and then just start rowing himself out there.
Okay. So we'll get back to you two. Rusty, you are at Penn's house. You've knocked on the door, I assume, correct?
If I can't find any information just from looking in the pen itself,
Not
I will.
Really.
Yeah, then yeah, I'll have to come out and speak to someone. So yes.
Okay.
So knock on the door.
A man that's kind of stout. He's got kind of like a beer gut. He's kind of greasy looking and balding. He comes to the door and he says, "Hello."
Hello, I am here conducting information. I'm doing this in the most monotone voice, acting like a robot
Okay.
on purpose.
Okay.
I am figuring out the, and yes, I'm going full Kirk.
You?
I'm going full Kirk with this. I am trying to figure out what's going on with these attacks from eagles.
You some kind of robot.
Sir, please stop that. I'm here to help.
Use one of them Warforged, right?
Yes. I am.
I heard of your kind, and he keeps poking at you. Yeah, there's some giant bird. It keeps taking the cows.
Please describe the giant bird.
Looks like an eagle, but it's bigger than this house.
When did it last happen?
Last night. Hey, who sent you over here, huh?
Was this dude from fucking Southie?
Yes, I'm going with it. I was originally going to do British, but it became Southie, so that's what you get.
It's okay. You know, it happened, man. I just can't even stop this Southie guy. I was sent via my lord to investigate these attacks.
Oh, so we got a lord now, huh? What's the tax, huh? Are you here to collect taxes? Because I came here to escape taxes. I ain't paying you taxes. And he starts to close the door.
I put my foot, in the front of the door.
Oh yeah, he'll like close onto it, and he'll be like, "Hey, get your damn foot out my door."
There is no tax yet. I'm here to investigate these birds.
Oh, I see the game. So if I don't give you the information you're looking for, there's all of a sudden going to be a tax, huh? Well, I know how to handle this, and he walks away from the door.
I look around. Is there anybody else looking towards the door?
No, his place is kind of outside of town.
I walk in, take out my dagger, go and threaten him.
Okay, he has a rifle.
Yeah. Okay. I go. He's going to get his rifle. As soon as he walks in, I see no one. I run it. I go in and just go and pin him.
Okay, you want to try and grapple him?
Yes.
Okay. So it's going to be in opposed athletics.
I'm hopefully, being a robot, stronger than him. That is an 18 athletics.
Okay. You're gonna jump into him, and like in part of the same fluid motion, you jerk the gun aside, and it just hits the ground, and you've got him up against the wall.
And I have
And
my
he's
dagger.
like, hey, I was just,
You were gonna tell me about this bird.
yeah. I saw a wild animal outside. That's what the gun was for. Not to harm you or nothing.
What I want to know is, what about that bird? Isn't there any information that you're not telling me?
Nah, man, it's just some crazy bird. It flies down here, takes the cows, and kills a couple.
Okay. How often does it come?
Every couple days. It's been increasing more lately.
Is it just one bird, or is it multiple?
I think it's just one.
Thank you. Now,
Usually, as you start to kind of like push him a little bit more to try and make sure he's clear of all of his information, he goes, "Yeah." It usually comes around like 3 o'clock or so.
Midnight? Middle of the night or in the day?
The day.
Thank you. That your and I'll go back to my bland voice. Thank you. Your what is it? Your complaints have been noted. The Lord will look into this for the success of everybody. Have a great day. And then he'll just disappear.
Like after you walk out the door, you hear from the other side, "I still ain't paying no fucking taxes," and he slams the door.
I have to remember that one. There's probably some extra taxes we can tack onto him.
More like Massachusetts.
All right. So, just assuming, I might already know this, Chris. What time of day is it?
So we're gonna pretend like you are Warforged, therefore you have impeccable timing. It is 2:21.
Perfect. I will.
That's a special racial ability. I'm making it up now. All Warforged know the exact time at all times.
Yes, I'm okay with this. All right. So it is 2:21 and 23 seconds. Okay.
Look, your character zones for a second. 2:21 and 21 seconds. So what I need to do is.
Yes. I'm okay with that being the exact reason how we do it.
His other person that answers him says, "I am Jarrell, master of scheduling."
Somehow we're all connected to this one, single consciousness named Jarrell. Master of scheduling. All right, so I'm gonna go look for my captain and my lord. In other words, I'm gonna go back to where we were.
Okay.
I expected them to be there.
You discover the boat is out to sea, pointing guns at the city, and there's a rowboat going across the water. Unfortunately, that was the only rowboat.
I don't like yelling.
Lana!
My lord! I'll be yelling that out.
Do I hear him?
Yeah, you do. You're not so terribly far that you can't. You're like at yelling distance between the ship and land. So if he wanted to yell, Murdoch will hear your portion of the yelling, but he won't be able to make out what Rusty's yelling.
Like, just gotta stop. Gonna look back towards Rusty. Just a second. Look back towards the boat. What the hell are you doing?
Can I tell who it is in the rowboat?
Yeah.
All right.
Of course you can. It's your
You
lord.
can make out his voice clear.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we don't decide to blow it up. Because we are blockading. We're blockading the port, my lord!
And who in Ilo's name told you to do that?
Me!
Why?
To make sure, cause the men work for shares! And on our way here, there were no shares!
Look, there's no threat from this city at this time. In fact, there's some other stuff we need to look into. So stop blockading and come back ashore.
Can't do that!
Why not?
I look around for an excuse, Chris.
Dorje will look at you and he'll say, you know, Captain, we can maintain the blockade if you need to go ashore.
No, Dorje, you're not getting... I'm looking for an excuse to not go ashore. He's gonna yell at me.
Goes,
He's gonna yell at me.
Dorje starts waving his hands, and he casts Fairy Fire. It's like, sir, you might be able to bluff and say it's a fire.
We're currently dealing with a fire!
You just saw
Yeah, I
him
see
wave his
him
It
wave
might
his-
look like a fire.
But no, the best thing is he saw Dorje go like this and the fire happened.
Orange, you gigantic asshole! Get over here this instant!
No!
I'll dock your
More
pay
to
if
the
you don't.
point, how? You have the only rowboat!
So, Dorje's going to be that guy on your ship. I'm going to have him be the one that's the asshole all the time. And he goes, sir, we have 2 dinghies of our own.
I love you, Dorje.
There's always
Those
one.
aren't taking any ships that try to come into the bay. They cannot leave here.
Of course, sir.
I guess you'll just have to leave me here.
Still not understanding why.
Because I have no boat to get to you.
You can see one of the dinghies on your side.
He's just gonna sit back down and start rowing to the ship.
God damn it, he's gonna yell at me again. No? I'm gonna go look at Dorje and be like, go retrieve First Officer Rusty from the shore.
At once, sir. And he waits by the ladder. So, Ellen, you climb up, and Dorje extends a hand to you and aids you to get back on the boat. As you walk over to talk to the captain, Dorje hops inside the dinghy that you took and starts going to shore.
He's like, what? Where are you going?
Captain said the other ones are for sieging.
The hell am I paying you people for?
Captain's orders, and he starts rowing again.
Alright. I got to ask, what is my authority over these people as their employer?
You're their employer, so you do have say over what they do, but how they do it is kind of up to them. That's kind of how privateers work.
You give us broad and general orders, and then the captain decides. Captain commands the boat to do those orders.
Yeah, like if you wanted to, you could say, "Hey, we're gonna be here a little while. We want to investigate the seagulls. Send the men out. Let them try and gather shares." So they'll go and they'll start attacking different ships that are trading and exporting around here.
Yes,
if you want to give them more precise instructions, be like, "Okay, I want you to attack pirates that you find in the area. There are pirates in the free lands."
Yeah, I know. That was the general idea. It's just this is going very slowly and inefficiently because they keep doing stupid shit.
They're just following the captain's orders.
God damn it, people!
What? Oh, welcome aboard, my lord. Please, come to my stateroom so that we may have a conversation privately.
Fine. Let's just do it on the boat then.
Where else would we do it? In the water, sir?
No, we could have done this on shore, because I have need of us to be on shore to hunt a giant eagle. But since apparently we're now bringing Rusty back on the ship, fine, we'll do the briefing here.
Why do we need to hunt the giant eagle, sir?
Because of the giant eagle that's been screwing with the fine people here. And I can't have them not seeing me as a hero, so I need to go kill it.
Why do you need to be there? Are
Do you not understand
the lord of this town, sir?
Well, I mean,
Mark.
yes.
I've already pretty much stated that he's the lord of the town to some of the people.
So
like,
wait a minute.
Look.
There's a problem with this. I have to remind you that the Garuda believe that this is their home.
Well, yes, it is, and which is why I'm also doing the favor for them.
So who's going to live here?
Everyone?
Is there enough room?
Sure, they just moved a little way down the shore.
According to your country, you are entitled as a noble to take 20 acres.
Okay, so let you know what Ellen's current thought process is. He owes a bit of a debt to the Garuda for the hospitality they showed him, and since he wandered into this realm of peasants, he's like his pathological need to be the hero to them, so he has to go solve the problem of the eagle. And in his mind, he's sort of equated that with, once I do this, they will greet me as their lord. Whether or not that's actually how it works or not.
Okay.
So basically, it's like, I'm not trying to be their lord, it's just going to happen.
Well, my lord, we're blockading the bay so that way no pirates come in. And that way no one can escape your authority.
I don't think we have to worry about much on the second front. And while I'm not necessarily adverse to the first one, I would wish that you had cleared this with me, or at least let me know what you were doing before you did it.
Oh, so you need me to go through every order and clear everything I do with you. Oh, why don't you just be the captain?
I'm not saying you need my permission, I just want to be in the loop, as it were. Because I just came back from talking to these people and found you pointing guns at the bay. I had no idea what you were
guns out the bay.
Yes, but I wasn't.
You say that you wanted guns pointing out the bay, and then you think, maybe I should look. And sure enough, there are guns pointing in the bay, too.
It's like, yeah.
I didn't say to blockade it. Going in and out is a blockade.
Yeah. I mean, yes. I'm not saying you need my permission, but letting me know where to avoid these kinds of misunderstandings where I think you're going to start opening fire on the people I've been talking to.
No! No! I don't want to hurt anybody.
Yes. Of course. Let's just wait for Rusty to get back.
So after a few moments, Rusty is brought back.
Yeah. So.
Good work, Dorje.
Yes.
He goes back to what he was doing.
Being a jackass.
Yes. He goes over to another Garuda and corrects their knot.
The jackass who always has to point out shit. All right, so I will go up to apparently where Eland and Orange are, and
Range.
yes, but he wouldn't. He that's what he says to you. He still doesn't like it, so he says Orange in his head. I don't think you understand this shit. So by the time we get to there, I get to them. What time is it, Chris?
Let's see. At the tone, the time is 2:37:29.
Alright.
This is Joro,
I will say,
master of scheduling.
my lord.
I hope you know that I'm now creating an NPC that lives inside the Warforged city. That's like the tyrant who rules all of them. Named Gilbel, master of time.
Hey man,
Totally cool with it.
I'll let you develop that as you want. Okay, I'll just live with it because I think it's great.
All right.
So I'm gonna go up to you and I'm like, my lord, and Captain Orange, the time is now 2:37 and 30 seconds.
It's not unsettling when you do that.
And at 3 o'clock, a giant bird will attack.
But it's not nighttime yet.
No,
They
it's
said,
generally, it's
they
generally
said very specifically that the bird would attack at night.
They did say he attacked last night.
yes, but he said, but the guy also said, normally it does attack night. But the man I spoke to said that he generally attacks during the day.
Interesting.
Also, the man I spoke to, I suggest you tax him heavily. He seemed to be very discourteous to one of your employees, and he seemed to even try to threaten my life.
I see.
And all I was doing was just trying to help him out.
I shall take that under advisement, although unfortunately I'm not yet in a position to properly exert my authority. First, I must save them from their menace. Then they shall worship me as the hero, and then I shall be their lord. Well, that is how it works.
Well, giant bird takes. It seems like there's only one of them. Doesn't seem like it's a Garuda. It's just a giant bird, pretty much as big as a house. That's what he was saying.
What is it with this part of the world and giant animals? It's a problem.
What kind of a house?
I
Is it like a
mean,
colonial,
I'll give you the exact.
a selfie
no, no.
tenement?
I'm gonna give you the exact measurement in cubits.
I don't know how to convert cubits to feet.
Don't worry about it. Just let it go. Because I expect Warforged to use cubits.
Well, that's a very specific number.
Yes.
In any case, we have a giant bird to kill, so I'm going to need... How many people for a bird that size? Well, at least the ones who I know who are proficient in combat, so you two, I say, pointing at Rusty and Orange.
It's a perfectly square 8-cubit building.
There you
Did
go.
you Google it like I Googled it?
Yes.
Is there any man here also willing to aid these villagers in their plight?
My lord, we're in my ready room.
What? He's like, he was staring out at the bay from the window when he said that.
He was
like,
striking a heroic pose, talking to no one.
Well, yeah, because remember when he said, he's like, I gotta be the hero of these people. Strike pose. He stayed there.
yeah, didn't bother looking. I was like, what? Oh, right. Sorry. Got caught up in the moment.
Also, my lord, they have their orders to blockade this bay for the moment.
There.
What?
I'm pissed off the dogs.
Okay.
I should just be like, knock, knock, knock.
Answers angrily. What?
It's Dorje at the door. Captain, One of the villagers has come to the ship.
They swim?
No, sir. They took a boat.
They had other boats? I
You
only
didn't
saw the
shoot
one.
it out of the water?
Well, he was coming to us. He had a white flag.
He surrendered.
Yes, sir.
Confiscate the boat, take all of its contents, and bring the prisoner to me.
Okay. A few moments later, Dorche opens the door and throws this guy who's bound onto your floor, and he says, "And here are the contents of his ship, sir. I don't think this is going to share very well." He drops a sack full of like breads and grains.
Bring it down to Timid. Or not Timid, Gareth Forthknife.
Of course, sir. And he leaves with the sack of grains for the kitchen. The man that you have
Bring me an
that's
apple.
bound.
Sir, if I may, just one thing.
Yes, Officer Rusty.
Aren't you taking this a bit too harshly to your role?
He surrendered.
He was doing that so we didn't shoot at him. There's guns pointed out. Anybody would surrender at that point. That doesn't mean he was an enemy in the first place.
That's smart. I cannot take risks with Master Ellen's ship.
It's not a risk.
You! What do you have to say for yourself? I do not remove the gag. What do you have to say for yourself?
I will remove the gag.
I came here to offer your crew a bounty to kill that eagle.
Oh,
Yes, of course we will accept your bounty.
thank you. Where is it?
The village is able to gather 2,000 gold. But we need this eagle dealt with. If it continues to kill our livestock, we won't make it through to the rainy season.
Where's the bounty, prisoner?
It's back in the village for when you kill the bird and bring proof.
The food.
We can deal with that later. I'll place my hand on his shoulder. Of course we will kill this eagle for you, good sir. I could not, under my good name of Ellen Delendor, leave you to such dire straits.
Your lord addressed you! Kick.
Thank you, my lord. He's still bound, very confused at the turn of events.
I'm going to unbind him.
Yes. Such as it was, we were in fact heading back to shore to take care of this exact purpose. So, I'm going to need you two, I'd say pointing to Rusty and Orange, to come along with me, for I know you're my most able-bodied fighters. The rest of the crew can carry on with the blockade business.
Very well. No one will leave or enter my lord's territory.
Are you taking the villager back with you to shore, or are you just going to leave him on board?
No, I'll take him back.
Okay. Along the way, the villager will speak with you, and he'll say, "We want you to kill the giant eagle, but you have to keep it quiet. These savages, the Garuda, they seem to worship the beast. If they catch us killing it, it may spell trouble with them later on. We already have enough trouble with the raptors, but they're the worst of them."
I leave Konma in charge, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, not Dorje?
No, Dorje's a dick.
But Dorje. But okay, so I will say
She gladly takes charge.
I will say to this guy, don't worry. It is my duty to fight things without being seen.
Alright. Interesting. I wasn't aware that in my mind, I'm separating like the Garuda we came with from the Garuda who are already here. So I was just like, I wasn't aware that you had spent enough time with the Garuda for you to know that.
No, the elder of this tribe that you brought with you, he approached us and tried to barter with us, to come up with some sort of solution that the bird could live in harmony with us. But the bird keeps stealing our livestock.
I see. Very well. Regardless of how it is done, I shall see that it is done. We need not worry about it anymore.
Okay. Your boat will make it, or your dinghy will make it to the pier again at this point, and the man will get off and he'll say, "When you've taken care of the problem, come find me, and I will ensure that you're rewarded properly."
Indeed. After he walks off, I'm gonna pull the other two to the side. I'm going to speak with the Garuda, see if they can perhaps give us a third solution to this. However, if such a thing,
the same thing, my lord.
However, I am nothing if not pragmatic. Should that fall through, be prepared to take care of it in a more violent manner.
We could lower it back to the ship and have the chain shot at it.
Well, yes, capturing it, I suppose, could work. Although then, what do we do with it?
We relocate it.
Hmm.
Better yet, we could attempt to tame it. No one would dare attack our lord if they knew he rode a giant eagle into battle.
But Lord, do we actually have anybody who knows how to tame giant eagles?
The Garuda seem fairly competent with animals.
They seem fairly in tune with nature. They don't tame the animals. They live beside them.
Exactly.
As companions, not as master and
If this
servant.
animal was made to be Lord Ellen's companion,
That would require you to learn much from the Garuda, sir. Do you really want to spend your time with them? Like, really?
Well, on the one hand, I'd have to live in a hut. On the other hand, flying eagle mount.
Okay.
on the third hand, powerful nature magics.
We could also just kill it, and you'd have a great set of armor, eagle armor.
Yes, but I do not wish to alienate the people who have shown us such hospitality. That's why I'm hoping for some kind of third solution.
Also, powerful nature magics for keeping the Garuda as an ally.
That too.
Nature.
Alright. To the Garuda.
Does anyone have a passive perception higher than 16?
No.
Does anyone have a higher passive than 14?
No.
Like, we would have had to invest all 10 points into even considering that as an option.
Well, you could have actually gotten perception as a skilled thing.
Sure.
Even if we do, we don't have a proficiency bonus yet.
Yeah.
That's true. I forgot. Yeah, sorry. This is a level 0 game, so you guys should roll everything. I shouldn't use passives. So yeah, give me a perception check.
Yep.
Because you guys don't stand a fighting chance unless I have you roll.
11.
Okay.
17 for myself.
20.
Okay. So the two high numbers will notice both points. So these houses are made of stone, and they're meant to endure the seasonal change. They're submerged when the high tide comes, and they just stay at the bottom of the ocean. And then when the low tide comes, all the water goes away. People clean them off and use them again. Shelters like this are not really owned by anyone per se. It's just people move, and they move into these places. The dry season homes are flexible, if you will. The flip side, though, is looking out. There's when the waters recede, the land becomes very accepting of different plants and animals and things like that. So there's a lot of trees inside the area, or at least there were. You're going to notice that there has been a lot of trees that have been cut down. There's just fields of stumps within about a mile of the city. Just completely every tree within a mile radius gone. The next thing that you'll notice is that there seems to be a lot of wood being piled up into to carts.
Hmm. Like, what do you mean by? Cause you mean like a cart that'd be, dragged?
Yeah, it would be pulled by horses or bovine in this case.
Okay, just trying to make sure of the size of the cart. All right. Um, seems like they might be preparing to to resettle as soon as the rainy season comes. At least that's what it looks like to me. What do you think, Orange?
What?
Do you not notice? I saw you looking in that direction.
The wood in the carts?
Yes.
They're trying to rob this land from my lord, taking his resources, hunting
Yes.
in his forests without his
And they feel like they can. They feel like after that they can resettle into another place outside of the Lord's control.
Sir, you should let me open fire on this village and teach it a lesson.
I was hoping for a more positive first impression. I'm not a tyrant, after all.
Yet.
Why not?
No,
Rusty
no.
always make sure to say yet.
So during this conversation, all of a sudden, Rusty cinches up, and he yells, "The time is 3 o'clock."
Oh, bugger.
You hear a terrifying scream, and this giant eagle, bigger than anything you've ever seen before, swoops down and starts raiding some of these cattle that are outside of town. You guys still have a little bit of ways to catch up to it, so you'll have to run to it.
Alright, running. It's like crap.
As we're running, Chris, I'm gonna make sure my wrist harpoon is ready.
Same.
Okay. Yeah, it's totally ready. You guys have had it ready to go. As the bird starts to lift off, you guys aren't judging the distance. You don't think you could hit the bird, but you could probably wrist harpoon that cow and take the cow away. But looking at the bird, it seems to be engorged, like it's huge, like it's just been feeding on these cows just for days.
Strange. A glutton. Well, regardless, if taking the cow away is the only thing we can do, then I'm totally going to do it. Achoo!
What are we doing?
I'm
Saving the cow!
Your wrist harpoons might kill the cow.
We ain't saving the
Oh.
cow. What I am gonna do though is because we feel like we can't actually hit it with the wrist harpoons. I'm gonna bring out my wrist crossbow and shoot the bird.
Yep, it'll go past that one range increment. So you'll have the negative to hit, which for each range increment is 2.
I mean,
Inside.
I'm already out of crappiness. I'm pretty much rolling out of just plain 0 now. That is an 18 to hit.
18. Let me
Yes.
just double check real quick here. Yeah,
Is
you're
that
gonna
after
hit
the
it.
-2?
Yeah, I have a +2 to from Dex
Oh, okay.
because I actually raised my Dex. It's my one good score.
Yeah, you hit him.
All right, that's a D6.
You hit her.
And since I don't have proficiency, I don't get the +2 from it. So no, yes I do because that's from Dex. Yeah, then 8 damage.
Okay. So the 8 damage, you see the arrow kind of bury into the feathers, and the bird lets go of the cow, and it screams and bats its wings a couple times to get some elevation.
Yep,
Did you hit the bird or the cow?
the bird.
The bird.
Yeah,
It's
because I want
surprising.
to wrist harpoon the bird.
That's what I want to do, but
you
it's
won't be
outside
able to
the
wrist
range.
harpoon the bird because
Yeah.
the harpoon has literally 1 increment. You can't exceed.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to come in range.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was trying to piss it off so then it comes closer, then I can fucking wrist harpoon it. I think I know what I'm doing.
Okay. Yeah, the bird drops the cow. The cow's legs are shattered. It's going to be useless.
But it didn't get the cow from me.
The bird will scream and start to fly away. You're going to hear another scream from the direction that it's heading, and it appears that there is a second eagle. The second eagle is coming in towards you instead of going away. This one seems to be much smaller. While it's still a giant eagle, it's smaller than the other one.
Yeah. So it's coming for us, or me specifically.
Yeah, you specifically, because you shot at.
All right. I'm gonna take my time to aim at it with my wrist harpoon.
Okay.
And just sit there.
So you guys are basically waiting until it gets close enough to harpoon it.
Yep.
There's two of you that are prepped, right? Or is it all three of you?
Isn't there the aim action itself? Isn't there aiming in this system? Do you have bonus? I thought there was in this system.
I don't remember if there is one in 5th.
I mean, if there's not, then I'm just aiming for the sake of aiming.
Yeah. I mean, you're ready in action, as far as that's concerned.
I will have my hand axe out and standing at the ready. Just in case the harpoons fail.
There is no aim.
All right.
Okay. So the bird is going to come in, and it's attempting to attack Rusty because Rusty shot his mate. And as he swoops in, he's going to go for his attack, but you guys are going to be able to open fire on him, essentially.
Yep. So I will fire, I guess. I don't know the stats on this, so should I treat it like a hand crossbow in the stats-wise?
Yeah, it's a hand crossbow, essentially.
Okay.
If you're using the harpoon, it's a D6 instead of D4.
It's a D6 for the hand crossbow.
Oh, is it? Okay, so D6 across the board then.
So it's just the same thing. It just has a tether on it.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool.
And if you guys are on like opposite ends, because you're tethering it in opposite ends, it'll kind of keep it stationary. Basically, the more tethers you have on it, it's just like reality using harpoons. The better it's going to be to control it.
That's hopefully the goal. I don't. That is a 19 to hit.
Okay. And that will hit. Let's go ahead and do some damage to it, because I'm going to let you guys do your damage before it runs in and does its thing.
That is 5 damage. Murdoch, are you rolling?
Yep, just waiting for you to finish.
Yep.
I critted.
All right. It takes that shit in the beak.
What's the damage die?
It's a D6, so you'll have 2 of them.
5 damage.
Okay. It's still up. It's going to thrash out at Rusty.
And then I want to reel myself in.
Perfect. That would help me out.
So you can reel it to you. You can't really reel yourself in.
Yeah. Besides,
like
I'm going to jump on the
reel it
switch.
to you is like grabbing the tether and pulling the tether. So you could actually, since you're tethered to it, you could pull yourself up like pulling up a rope, which would be an athletics check.
Yes.
Okay. Which you'll be able to do on your turn.
Yep.
The giant eagle is going to smash in and do its attacks, which, Rusty, what's your armor class at the moment?
19.
19, wow.
I have a breastplate. What are you, and a shield?
The first one is going to be a beak, and the beak is just going to glance off of one of your pauldrons, and then the talons will just latch into your leg, and you can feel like your pain receptors firing.
God damn it! Why did I have those ones uninstalled?
This one's going to be 10 points of slashing damage.
I'm down.
Okay.
6 points. I only have a health pool of 6.
That's fine. You are down, which means you're unconscious. You'll start doing throws next turn.
Mm-hmm.
And the bird is there. Next is going to be The Berserker Noble.
Yeah, sorry, but I'm gonna mount this bitch first. So
We were holding it down for you.
Yes.
I was going to say, Rusty's body's holding it down for you.
I mean, it's trying to lift my heavy-ass body. I'm like 600-700 pounds probably.
Yeah, so basically what I want to do is, like, I want to hoist myself up on its back and then shove my axe into its beak so I'm, like, holding it this way and, like, trying to use it as, like, a makeshift bit.
Okay. I'll buy into it. We're going to say it's going to be a 2-part action. We're going to do athletics for you to get on the bird and kind of, like, grapple onto it. And then we'll do a handle animal check, which will be as part of the whole turn.
Just make sure at the end you give a good smile for any onlookers to make sure you look heroic doing it.
Alright, first check. Oop. 20.
Okay. You are able to climb the giant eagle.
Alright, what's the second check?
It's a handle animal check.
Alright, is that wisdom?
Yes.
Strength. You beat that animal to submission.
Yeah. Oop.
Shows
So
who's the
because
outlaw.
this animal is considered wild, anytime you try and command it from this point forward, it's going to require the check.
Alright, 17.
17? Yeah, you're able to kind of reel the bird back, and it lets go of its the talons that are inside Rusty, and you hear like the clank of armor hit the ground. It's trying to pick up elevation, and you can hear the Soga like whee underneath you.
I should still be technically attached to it with my own tether.
You are, but
I'm
it hasn't gotten high enough to start lifting you. It's pretty strong, actually. Plus, it's large, so. The eagle will kind of rear back, and it's just gaining elevation from what you did right now. Let's go ahead and do initiative. Yeah, because you started pulling yourself up, you're a little bit off the ground right now.
Initiative. I'm just gonna be initiative. I'm down, unless you want me to actually roll.
Well, you still need a turn, so.
I got a 20.
Okay.
I am at 11.
Okay. And 15. Okay, so 20 will go first.
All
What
right.
does the noble do?
Try to make him land again. Down, down.
Okay.
That
So it's going to be a full action handle animal check to kind of like dig in and push him down.
Yep. That was a 10.
Okay. The bird's going to fight you, and it starts to lift off the ground. 'Cause it seems like it wants to leave this fight. Like it kind of got itself involved in more than it really wanted to. So it's heading the same direction its mate went. Soga, you're clearly off the ground now. Rusty's body is kind of scraping along the ground because the bird hasn't gotten enough elevation yet. Next is going to be the Soga.
I continue to climb up.
Okay. You make it about half the distance.
17.
Yep, you'll make it about half the distance.
Okay.
And next is going to be Rusty.
It's a con
See if
check.
your
Right?
emergency circuits fire.
It's a con check for this, right?
Yes.
No.
Or no, sorry, it's not. It's
a
death
straight
saving
die check
throw,
above
so
a 10.
It's die, yeah.
That's right. Just straight down. Okay, first one's good.
Perfect.
So my first circuit breaker.
So
Good.
one of your circuits fires.
Trying to reboot.
Okay. Next is going to be the bird. It's going to continue to move, but all of you are weighing it down, so it only moves at half speed. So basically it travels 40 feet kind of up and diagonal towards its mate. You're all clearly off the ground now. Rusty, unfortunately, effectively, you've been drug against trees, so you're going to have taken an attack, which means that you get a failed saving throw.
Oh my god, really? Alright, so I have one field and one success.
Yep. Next is going to be Nolan, right? Elland. There we go.
He's totally Christopher Nolan.
God damn it, narrator! How dare you besmirch our lord?
Yep. You're going to have to open fire.
We'll do that when we get back to the ship.
Alright. So, yeah, I'm just gonna... Actually, I think trying to force him to the ground is probably the best thing for Rusty, so do it again.
Because I'm actually going to die from just being attacked by trees, apparently.
Yep. Nat 20.
Okay. With a natural 20, you're able to get it to where it starts descending. You're going to hear Rusty bounce off the ground. Rusty, I'm sorry, you're taking another failed throw.
That's 2.
The bird will just smash into some trees, and it's pretty much stuck where it is now. Orange, your turn.
I continue to climb. A 15 to do so.
You make it to the bird. You can also take an action if you'd like.
I have my gun out. I put it to its head.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for the words.
Okay.
Oh, that was an adventure. Just like breaking in a horse.
Rusty.
Yep.
Your turn.
Come on. Oh, thank God. Whew, 14.
All right, 2 and 2.
Because I'm like one failed save. Well, guess what? Apparently, I'm gonna be the
part
gunner.
is if your level 0 character dies, I feel like this is gonna be like the death that actually affects you. You're like, I couldn't even make it to level 1.
I know. Though I feel like I would have a great time playing that farmer Southie dude.
Terrible.
It's gonna be a gunslinger.
Alright. Let's see. It is only half the problem, so at the very least, killing this right now wouldn't be helpful. Besides, we could use this as bait for the other one. Either way, so Ella's gonna be breathing heavily. He's got like this crazy-ass smile on his face. Just like breaking a horse in back home. Did I ever tell you I did that?
Like the bird struggles, you like jerk its head around a couple times.
This is where you should already have named it.
Alright.
Rusty, I'll need another saving throw. Crunch time.
Yeah, I was also gonna say, go check on Rusty, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna happen first.
It's okay. I made it by 1. 11.
All right. Your eyes kind of flicker back to life.
The time is now.
So
We hear the
really-
windows ding.
Yeah, you hear the windows ding, and then he yells, "The time is now 3:05:93. Correction, 3:06. 33."
So I'm gonna remain where I am, and it's just I'm gonna look back to her range, just like go make sure Rusty's all right, and then go fetch the Garuda. I'm sure they'll have a better idea of what to do. Such as it is, we now know there's 2 of them, so killing this one right now may be a bad idea.
The problem, sir, is that
Pull my harpoon out of its head,
Okay.
wrap it back in there while I walk over to Rusty. I then kick Rusty. Get up, bitch!
Rusty, you do have a die 6 that you can use as your quick heal.
yeah. Hold on, is that a Warforged
He has to
thing?
use that at a short
No,
rest.
it's a short rest for level 0 heroes.
Yeah. All right. Well, are we taking a short rest right now? Is the big thing.
You have 1 hit point at the moment. I'm bringing it up as an option for you.
Well, give me a second, Chris, on that. I'm up. See, that plan was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Had some rough spots, but I can't say I'm complaining. He says, is he like still trying to break in the giant bird?
Yeah, I mean, you guys have harpoon tethers. You could actually just tie the bird down to the ground and just like smash harpoons down and just keep it pinned like that. It'll be completely restrained.
We'll keep it pinned. We're in a pretty forested area, right?
It's deforested pretty heavily.
Because of
There's
the
lots of
crash.
stumps and things like that. And now that you're actually here in the woods, it looks like a lot of the trees are rotten.
Well, my biggest concern is the other bird still.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The area that you crashed into, there's some cover.
Okay. So, sir, may I recommend that that we get the because of course I didn't know your orders.
Or I'm sorry, I said rotten. I should have said petrified.
Okay. Okay, that changes things. Sir, may I recommend that we get the Garuda to help in with this, and in the meantime, I will rest.
Yes. Yes, of course. That is what we should do.
So yeah, Chris, I'm gonna go into my kind of sleep state.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for the rest, heal up.
Okay. Yeah. So during your short rest, you can do a D6.
Full heal.
Perfect. About 30 minutes later, you'll kind of come out of it feeling a lot better. So you are going to go get the Garuda, correct?
I believe that is the best option for us,
Okay.
especially
perfect.
if we're not.
So at this point, because you've taken down the bird, you guys can gain another advancement, which is going to be 5 ability score points, and then you also get your choice of a class trait advancement. Which, just as a reminder for you guys, that's weapon proficiency, armor proficiency, divine proficiency, or arcane proficiency.
Okay.
As a side note, if you guys are playing and you feel like your character is drawn in between classes, and you have an interesting idea for something different, like, for example, we've got Tom, who's the noble who is kind of heritage-wise and background-wise leaning towards a barbarian, but he's also done some roguely thing, or not roguely, ranger-type things.
I was just thinking that, actually, yeah.
I was going to say we could look at doing some sort of like a ranger archetype or a barbarian archetype if there's not one that seems to fit the idea quite well. Like for right now, if I was to suggest one, I would probably suggest like totem barbarian.
I actually have a question. I would like to do like a swashbuckling bard, but there's no such thing for this system.
Again, we could totally make something. That's fine. Since we're doing a level 0 adventure and it's totally just for us and anybody who watches, we can make the archetypes and make them make sense, and then I'll share them on Stratmur's page for City of Brass.
Because I think this would be a fun game to continue for a little bit.
Like I said, I'm totally fine with doing it as like an off and on type thing.
I am at 8 health.
I'd like to get back to L5R Season 2, of course, but
yeah.
When we want to do like an off game and play something lighthearted, we could totally throw this in the mix.
So, Chris, just confirm it was 6 points plus our whatever con we have,
5
right?
points.
5 points.
Plus con?
Oh, sorry, for the hit point regain?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a D6 plus your con.
Okay, good. Because I'm at 8 hit points now. I have a con. Tire. Alright, so I suppose if we look at who is who in this situation, I'm technically the lowest of the ranks here, so I will go get the Garuda.
Okay. Are you going to go get any Garuda or someone in particular? You've had some time to kind of learn whose strengths are what, so if you tell me, oh, I'm looking for a witch doctor, I can go in the right direction.
I want to look for who would be best with animals. Who would understand what these animals are and possibly see what the best in this situation is.
Gaffel comes to mind. He was the guy that was on lookout for other ships. He was the one that was talking with the seagulls. He seems to have a very good rapport. If you had to venture a guess, he's probably a druid, or at least practiced in the druidic arts, more so than just the Garuda race themselves are.
All right. Then, yeah, he sounds like he's a good person, unless the captain and Lord have another person they'd like me to speak to.
The elder.
You'd like the elder instead?
I mean, are you asking or no?
Yes.
If you're asking, I have no opinion.
I suggest looking for Gafel instead of the elder. But if you have no opinion, sir, what about you?
Why would you favor him over the elder?
The elder has too many responsibilities to think about in this situation. If things don't turn out in our best favor, it'd be best having someone who was a bit more understanding than just needs to look out for the rest of their people and their traditions.
You raise an interesting point. Yes, go find him.
I'm gonna go for Gafel then.
Okay. Gafel is kind of a large Garuda. Even for them, they're more of like a broad-chested race. They're not like huge per se, but they're definitely bigger than what their weight would determine. Gafel is actually kind of an exception to this. He's even bigger, and he's got more of like parrot-like features. Whereas they run the gambit for the exotic birds, they tend to run the gambit. The tribe that you've mainly been dealing with, they look like birds of paradise, whereas he looks more like a toucan kind of thing.
All right. As I go up to Gafel, I will greet him. Gafel. It's I know we have not spoken much personally, but I was sent here by my lord and my captain. We have encountered one of the giant birds.
He says, yes, Scion, forgive me. I have neglected to tend to my people and their guests as well as I should have. You said that you've captured one of these sacred birds. That he kind of leans in and he says, that is considered an offense to our people. I am willing to overlook it, but the bird must be released.
We were attacked. I'm surprised that in the end we did not end up in a worse situation with it. We decided the best option was to capture instead of killing it. We thought that would be better in the end.
He kind of nods and he says, yes, Scion would not like one of her children killed mercilessly. If you take me to the bird, I can perhaps soothe it. That way when it's released, it shouldn't lash out at you again.
Yes, we would. That's why I came to seek your help. I always saw you dealing with the animals on back on your island and on the boat, so I felt like you would know a lot about this.
Of course, lead the way.
Yep. So on the way, I mean, I'm gonna try to see what I can figure out about gathering how much offense he would take to trying to see if there's a way to get these birds to leave the villagers alone instead of just like letting them coexist. I'm trying to gauge his interest on that.
Yeah, when you ask about it, he kind of contemplates and he says, well, the birds, the eagle has no interest in mortals usually. They tend to their own needs and necessities. I don't know of any reason that they would be attacking the village.
They
could perhaps be convinced to move somewhere else.
If they could be convinced to move somewhere else where they can live peacefully and the village can live peacefully, wouldn't that be the best for both worlds? Everybody would be happy then.
Yes, if the eagles or the humans could be moved, it would solve these issues. It doesn't seem that the humans wish to coexist with nature.
Humans never do.
Tink, tink, tink.
Yes. Surprisingly, exactly. He understands. But he'll never point that out, not unless it comes down to it. Yes, humans never seem to live with nature properly. They always treat it with disrespect. Always industrializing.
The Garuda kind of nods and goes with you. Once you make it back, they've got the eagle strapped down, and the eagle's not going anywhere because you've got it full wingspan and its wings are pinned. It can't go anywhere at the moment.
Yeah.
Unless you guys have decided to kill it while Rusty's gone.
No, we keep it alive.
Nothing crazy. Got it. Okay. So once they make it back. Gaffel will look over the bird and look to its injuries. He starts smearing some kind of green paste inside the wounds, and he says, "I have spoken with the eagle, and I understand its plight. There seems to be a problem with the trees in this area. They have endured a petrification." The eagles were concerned because the other eagle, the one that was wounded but left, seems to be bearing eggs and will soon be having her eggs. They've been taking the cattle to make a nest because the trees are the only trees that were worth taking. The humans have already claimed and protect fiercely. It was easier to go for the cattle.
I see.
Peasants just don't understand the troubles of lords. If they had left our lord's forest alone, the eagles would have been able to procreate happily.
Without bothering them. Say the word, my lord. I'll take care of the problem. No more peasants.
I like that we're blaming ecology problems on peasants in this game.
I mean, technically true.
It is the peasants' fault.
Humans.
How dare they?
The problem is, by taking care of the problem, I won't have anyone to be the hero of.
That is a problem, my lord.
Gaffel kind of comments to himself. He says, "It would show your bond to my people." with as flat-toned and neutral as they generally are in speech, you basically take it from Gaffel that means that if you find a way to save the birds, that you would be considered a hero amongst his people.
Pathological urge winning out.
If I may,
Yes.
take these as the sigil of your house and power. Raise them in your castle. Give these birds the freedom that they deserve, and they will guard you. I'm sure of it.
Gaffel will kind of look a little surprised, and he says, "The Soga is speaking some level of truth. The great eagle is actually a very intelligent bird. It can understand common and even the language of the air elementals."
Wait, you be totally okay with this?
He begins speaking with the bird, and he's actually using the Garuda tongue to allow him to speak with the bird in bee speech, essentially. And he says, the bird would take it as a great favor if you were to open your household and provide them a way to have their children in safety. He fears that his nest will be threatened if these humans continue their ways.
I think this is the very definition of win-win, my lord.
Peasants or giant birds?
The peasants might be miffed, but on the other hand, their problem will be solved. The Garuda will be happy, and I get giant birds. So
and you're a hero with giant birds, sir.
So yes, I will totally go for this.
Okay.
I know I keep you around for a reason. I say point to range.
Yes, I'm the captain of your boat. Why? What are we doing? What's going on? Holy God! What is that bird?
Gaffel will look very strangely at Origin. He'll just kind of look back at the bird, and he says,
He
"If
does
we
that.
release the bird, it will not harm us. But we need to find a way to ensure that that he can finish his mate can finish the nest safely."
Sir,
Right.
there were the logs that we saw earlier. I'm sure the peasants wouldn't mind too much if we use some of them.
Taxation.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yes, Chris. As they should for you, my lord.
Indeed. I believe this would be a necessary and suitable use of resources.
For the common good, my lord.
Indeed. The peasantry might not be happy with it, but I, like the paternal man that I am, must show them the correct way.
Of course, my lord. You are a great man, my lord.
Okay. Gafel's going to start releasing the lines on those harpoons.
If you're being patronizing, Ellen doesn't notice.
Oh yeah, he's 100% being patronizing. But you're at the very least you're also paying him, and he feels like he's doing good in the world because he feels like this is the best way to do good in the world. Therefore, everything's a win-win for him. He has a very odd sense of good. I'm going to help Gafel with the tethers because of course I want my tether back.
Okay. So once you guys get the tethers free, the bird will kind of kowtow to all of you, and then it will take flight, heading in the direction its mate went.
When will it come and live with us?
Gafel speaks up and he says, it would be during the rainy season. The hatchlings will be ready to fly by then.
I see. I'm afraid I'm not experienced with these matters. How much wood would it need to finish its nest?
Gafel kind of thinks for a moment. He says, "To be honest, the bird was not too sure. It appears that the females are the ones that build the nest. It's to their specifications."
Well, just gotta take a random guess. I guess I will ask for 2 cartloads worth of wood from the villagers. Hopefully that will be enough.
Chris, can I think about how many cartloads I may have seen?
Yeah, there were 4 carts. They were just like jam-packed, almost overloaded with wood.
Sir, my lord, you might want to reconsider that, as there are only 4 carts in general.
There are? Oh.
Taking 2 would be very detrimental to the peasants.
Agreed.
One might be well enough.
It will have to do.
Okay. So are you going back to the village to speak with the peasants about this?
I suppose I have to.
We don't speak with peasants.
No,
We
we're not
issue-
speaking with them. We're speaking to them about it.
To them.
Yes.
With them ensures makes the peasants think that they have a voice back to us. It's not true at
Okay.
all. They're mere serfs.
So you head back, and Gafel will go to his people and kind of inform them of what's going on.
How you are a great hero who saved the birds.
The person that you come across is actually going to be the guy that was going to hire you, or had spoken on behalf of the village to hire you out to deal with the eagle.
We have dealt with them.
Whose name we're going to say is Quentin.
Purple.
Quentin
Nope.
Purple.
I'll go with it. Quentin Purple.
All right. Quentin, you'll be happy to know this matter has been resolved.
Good. Did you bring back any proof?
I'm afraid not, for the matter is more complicated than we originally thought. However, with the help of our group of friends, I have managed to strike a deal with these great creatures. As it turns out, they were only trying to build a nest for their coming young. And as I did not want to provoke a family of them, per se, as apparently there were more than I was led to believe, we instead have agreed that they will stop raiding your cattle for food. Instead, we will give them one cart of wood so they may finish building their nests, and thus we shall live in harmony henceforth.
Well, that's not very fair to us in the village. We've collected that wood so that we can survive the rainy season. Without
Lord.
that wood, we'll be short housing.
Lord,
What?
my lord, they're to be the sigil of your home
That too.
and serve you.
That too. But as I was saying, yes, this is an unfortunate circumstance. But unfortunately, we are all in this together. And since you can't have any more cattle being stolen, and we can't be having irate eagles, which are to be the sigil of my house, continually raiding this village, I'm afraid we're going to have to make compromises. I understand this is difficult, and as such, I will most graciously decline to accept that 2,000 that you were going to give me for doing this task. See, I myself am also making sacrifices.
The money doesn't matter as much as the wood. If we don't have enough housing, we can't last the winter.
All of a sudden, there's a click at my bandolier.
Or, sorry, not the winter, the rainy season.
Yes.
The rain is coming.
Most delirious problem. What that mean?
Once these eagles hatch, what will they eat? We don't have enough cows to supply eagles.
They don't eat cows.
Yes. From what I was to understand about them, they were not using the cows necessarily as food, but more as building material for a nest. Once that is taken care of, they will not care anymore. They manage to subsist off of the land. So, there is that. However, your concern is a valid one. How may I weigh this together? We cannot have the eagles raiding us for supplies, but at the same time, I cannot have my people going unsheltered. Decisions.
Taxes, my lord.
He goes, my people.
Ellen doesn't notice.
My lord, you could tax your people, thereby allowing you for more commerce and trade, allowing you to procure those supplies necessary. Also, you have a band of privateers that may be able to acquire some extra supplies.
Indeed.
There's quotation marks and everywhere there.
So it shall be. The wood shall go to the eagles, but I will not leave you in the open. Myself and the crew that I have hired shall take it upon ourselves to make sure you have the required supplies in order to build the shelter you need for the coming rain season.
And what about building your castle, my lord? Tending to your farms.
We will acquire those too.
The amount of land that you're given, you pretty much have a choice of having a manor with land or a keep. That's pretty much all you can fit on 20 acres.
Yeah. But if I have a keep and then just say that everyone else's land is my land, and then they'll be too polite to contradict me.
You could do that, which would then provide you. You could then hold over them because you're from Aesir, which is essentially feudal Germany. Essentially, that's how the land that you grew up on is that a keep has a village that's outside of it, and then during harsh weather and bandits, those villagers get safety in your keep, and as part of the exchange, they feed you, and they take care of your keep for you.
Excellent. I shall go with the keep plan.
Okay.
Alright. So
Also, they usually use your keep as the center of commerce and trade.
Yep.
So, like, there'll be a blacksmith in there, a clothes maker, and all that stuff, and they
Like
have
they
their
should
stuff.
be.
And you know that according to the laws of Aesir, that would make you a baron because you have a keep and land.
Who wouldn't want to be a baron?
I like this plan. I like this plan a lot.
Which your family, while noble, has been a minor noble family. This is actually a good step in the right direction for your whole family.
Also, if you manage to hold the land long enough and unify some of the other villages.
Unify.
Now, do not make it sound like I'll be some sort of tyrant or conqueror. That is
Yes.
not how I of the noble house of Devenor do things.
Yes.
However, if in the course of events certain things would happen that require my intervention, it is only natural that people look upon me as their hero and savior, and thus treat me as such.
Yes, Baron.
You also know that once you have a keep that's functional, as a baron, you are allowed to keep a order of knights under your command as well.
Yes, this whole
Murdoch, just raise your hand for yes. We could be privateer knights.
yes, this whole keep plan is sounding pretty spectacular with exactly what he wants to do.
Okay. So, the villagers kind of disgruntledly agree to the terms that you've set out because it does kind of agree. It basically guarantees them success. They don't seem to be keen on this whole "you're my people now" thing. And there seems to be some rumors of taxation happening.
Just the one guy gets
There's like Penn is in the back and he's like, "See, I told you they're gonna tax us."
Technically, the food they gift us is a tax.
Yeah.
They pay for. I mean, when you have the Order of Knights, they also pay for the protection.
Yep. He's like, see, he's over there in the back. He's like, "Hey, I told you, man. This guy, he's gonna tax us. This is why we came here. We came here for some freedom, and they want to just keep taxing us."
Rusty.
Yes, Captain.
Deal with the malcontents, please.
The people here are actually from Acretia, which is the land to your north, essentially British Empire, but they have high levels of taxation, which is why a lot of them are moving.
So this is America, and
Uh-huh.
and we're the redcoats trying to still tax them.
Well, you guys are basically if the Germans were a colonizing force in the world.
Pretty much. Like if I've mentally associated this like if France and Germany switch roles during that time period.
Yeah, exactly. And the free lands are essentially colonial Wild West meets Tibet. Is kind of the short description on them.
Plus, giant eagles are going to watch your keep too.
Yes.
Of course, giant bald eagles.
Plus, you support a navy.
You're going to notice that that a lot of the people do have rifles, simple long arms, just because long arms are easy to point. Something that farmers tend to get a hold of a little bit easier. Which normally in Aesir would not be common. Mostly guns are reserved for nobles.
Interesting. How would I?
You also have a standing militia, apparently.
Yes. I will allow this.
I was going to say, you know that for to properly receive your title as Baron, once you get the land and you've built your keep, you have to have basically another person from Aesir, another Assyrian, send in basically that they confirm that your keep exists and that you're on the up and up to King Garrett Falconwrath III.
Is Lady Catherine from Aesir?
She is.
There you go. Bam.
To basically verify that the land is yours, that you have working order, that you're providing for the peasants, and then King Garrett will then decide if he wishes to bestow the title of Baron on you. If not, he will send a replacement for you.
I see.
So there is a bit of a gamble.
Alright.
My lord, may I suggest that we claim a plot of land that is a little bit more inland for when the rainy season comes?
Of course, as is natural.
Seward!
Seawart's on the ship?
Yeah, no, I'm just calling for Seward.
Okay.
Sir, you might want to go back to the
No
ship.
one
to do that.
responds.
Number 1.
Sir,
Where's Seaward?
he's on the ship, sir.
Retrieve him.
All right.
So you row a boat out there for him. Do you
Yeah.
guys do anything in the meantime, or do you just wait there waiting for Seaward?
I mean, mostly I'm going over plans in my head. It's like, okay, Keep's gonna go here. I'm gonna need this, this, and this. I need this timetable like this.
He has no idea what the land actually looks like. He's just picturing it in his head.
Yep.
I have a strong feeling we shouldn't tell this former king of yours.
What former king?
Yes, sir.
Exactly, sir.
Like, we have a current king, if that's what you're asking.
No. The Freelands do not have a king.
No,
Well, they soon will, my lord. Oh, no, wait, hold on. He'll go. You're
My-
great.
Like,
You're letting this all get to your head.
he's thinking about it for a second. It's like, look, you've suggested many wonderful ideas. However, I'm afraid you may have gotten a little away from yourself on this one. I am but a humble member of the court of my king. Now, if in the course of events certain things happen where I become the hero of, say, everyone on the Freelands, and they decide that I should be in charge of all of them, and then in the course of events I happen to have accrued more power than my noble king, then mayhaps it'll be time for restructuring of things.
But if you tell your king, you're not seeing this from the point of you no longer follow under his rule. He has no jurisdiction here. You have already gained a militia, warbirds, a boat, a hold. You don't need his approval to be a baron.
I don't think he would take that kindly, and it wouldn't take long for that to get back to him. Now, that said, like I said, certain things happen. Maybe in the course of events, we can revisit this idea.
He's going to tax you, and then you're going to have to tax the people. And since, boats are expensive to make them cross the water, your taxes are going to be higher.
He's like, and then he'll lean in. It's like, yes, of course, and I will very vocally bemoan these taxes and relate to my people and to how that I did not wish to levy these taxes against them, but I have no choice, for there are men across the sea who demand so much of me.
And then you will tell them that your privateers are going to defend them?
If it comes to that.
Sir, we may need more cannons.
Well, best get working then, huh?
So you can make log cannons, but they're only good for about 2 shots, and they're completely ruined and highly dangerous if you want to get that desperate.
Well, I was going to get swivel cannons eventually.
Yeah.
They don't pack quite as much of a wallop as the big cannons.
Yes.
But they do have a better range, or better arc
Accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, first step is build the power base, then usurp the kingdom.
I don't see why the king needs to know. What rule does he have here?
Well, he'll find out eventually. He'll be very cross if he wasn't informed. Plus, there's the whole whether or not I could actually get into position before that happens, and I prefer the safer route for now. Don't worry. Even in this, there will be opportunities.
You better be an honorable man.
My dear sir, I come from Aesir. We are all about honor.
Okay. So the The birds will actually come in, and between the two of them, they're actually just going to lift the entire cart and go in one move, because it's less dangerous for them to stick around in case they might get double crossed.
Okay.
Do they tell us that?
I was going to say, you do have a malcontent that you're going to have to deal with when the birds come, which is Pin from Southie.
What is he doing?
He brought a gun.
Is he going to try to shoot at the birds?
I was going to say, I assume Rusty takes care of it quietly.
Rusty already took care of it. He's already on his way for Seward. Penn doesn't come out.
All right.
I was told to take care of it. Take care of the malcontent amongst the people.
Okay, so you will take care of it then and there. All right. So before the birds even come, then.
Yes.
So
no, like I said, because I have to go to Seward. I had to. I was going to save it for nighttime, but since I had another job and I knew the birds were probably going to come and get it soon, I had to take care of my job ahead of time. It was rushed and maybe not the best well taken care of, but hey. To be fair, I was planning to have him die at nighttime, but make it look like he died of like a heart attack.
Right.
Now he's died of stab wounds.
I mean, pretty much the same thing. Something attacked his heart.
He fell on a knife repeatedly.
We're up there fell down the elevator shaft onto some bullets.
Oh, it's like that one.
Case closed, man.
Yeah. We can see what kind of knights that you're going to have inside your kingdom.
Whoa, the kind who get their job done.
Did we bring smallpox blankets in case the natives got a little...
Nope.
Listen, there are going to be heroes in my kingdom, which are the shining example which the people will follow.
Then there's going to be the Gestapo who gets shit done.
There are the other knights.
So we're the other knights, right?
Yes.
We're the replacements.
So there's going to be like hidden blades and stuff like that within your kingdom. Even better.
I don't think you understand. Assassin's Creed has already been begun.
I was going to say chronological creed.
Yes. Because I am the master of time.
Okay.
At least we'll have the most punctual kingdom.
So, to be fair, the Barishtar in Barishtar, where the Warforged are, they run entirely on completely accurate timescales. They are quite possibly the most punctual.
We will probably be the second most punctual kingdom.
All right, so the birds will take off with the wood, and you guys are going to. We're going to basically wrap up the two-part here, with you guys successfully dealing with the ecological issues. As far as how things come out in the end, you guys are going to be a little bit more of. Whereas you had kind of a neutral relationship with the natives, or the Jutandara tribe, you guys actually have a strong relationship with them now because you found a solution that ended up saving the birds and actually providing for more birds. According to what Gafel told the people, is that you have sworn an alliance with the birds to protect them in turn for them to also protect you, which they consider a honorable course. So from now on, when dealing with the Jutandara tribe, you are considered always on favorable terms.
Nice.
Cool.
With the people who are going with you, because you have promised to help them through the rainy season, they haven't necessarily acknowledged that they're going to be your serfs yet, considering they hail from another kingdom.
They haven't acknowledged. They don't have to acknowledge anything.
I was going to say they're probably not super excited by that, but you're talking about basically banding together to create long houses, because that's something that you'd be familiar with the what's left of the wood, to provide through winter, which would actually be a much better use of their wood anyways.
Fantastic.
And then they are neutral to you at this point. Well, actually, they're a little bit below neutral. They're essentially, they always start as, let me find the chart so I can actually use 5th edition terms, because they always change these things.
It's not on the DM screen.
No? I thought it was. That's weird. Whatever the step below neutral is.
Unfriendly, I think.
I think it's unfriendly. I don't think hostile starts right away because they're definitely not hostile to you.
No. I mean,
Um,
honestly, I can definitely see them as unfriendly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that is kind of how the political actions in the
Starting
future will go.
attitudes are friendly, indifferent, and hostile.
I'll say they're indifferent then. They're not really hostile at this point. The only one that was hostile was Penn, and he was evidently dealt with.
I was told to take care of any,
But to be fair, he started hostile.
and he ended hostile.
There's a royal family hierarchy that I shared inside their image that lets you know how actually the ascension and hierarchy works once you become a baron. So there is still upward mobility available to you.
Yes, you just have to kill everybody else. Eventually, you go up high enough.
Because he's in a new land, he could technically he could become the prince of the Freelands. If he basically gets enough renown and accumulated over time. It all depends on what you guys do, or you could be completely disavowed by the state and considered enemies of Aesir because you stole their people, essentially.
In which, at that point, he can just,
well,
become
that's
king.
I jumped straight to king.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, he goes up in life.
I can't lose.
So that is everything that I had for tonight. You guys will go to your level 1, and you guys can build yourselves appropriately. If you wanted to talk about doing any sort of special archetypes and stuff like that, we'll sit down and figure out what it is. Let me know what your archetype idea is, and I'll probably shoot you guys like a quick beta SketchUp of one, probably before the next time we do the game again. That way,
We're going to be doing this for... How many games do you have planned for this?
That's all I really had for the one-shot. I wanted to give you guys a chance to do a little survival, then have a fun, weird ecology problem, because I never do that in D&D, so it felt like a fun idea.
All right.
As far as like a continuing series, I planned on doing Stratmur games just available for people online in any of the groups, and our group in particular. To do like drop in, drop out whenever I happen to have a free chance to do one. If I want to do D&D, I'll do Stratmur. Just like right now, I'm helping out with Kyle, who's the main GM of a drop in, drop out L5R campaign.
So what's our next campaign or our next stuff from you? Is it season 2?
I'm thinking, yeah, we should go back to season 2 of L5R. I think we've had a good break in between here. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm itching to throw terrible demon death on you.
So,
Don't worry, I'll prepare 3 more characters.
As far as Dragon Ball, I should be good to go next week, which would be the 5th. The week after is yours, so I don't have to worry about that. 19th. All right, I should be good for my next 2 Dragon Ball games.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I mean, everybody who's viewed this channel for any long time. We play according to our own schedules. Sorry for viewers, but we make stuff happen that works for us.
So yeah.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we all work, so sometimes it's like that. But we do appreciate everybody who does drop in and catch the broadcast after the fact, because I know a lot of our views actually come from the middle of the week, not the weekends when we play. You were saying
Carrion will be around. I plan on playing him in some of your other drop-in,
I was going to say, the drop-in, drop-outs, anything that you guys do will have happened. So, like, while I may be doing a drop-in, drop-out that's in, let's say, in Soyeon, they may hear word that there's somebody who's claiming to be a baron that's established land in south in the Freelands.
I really, really wish that we're the only ones who are exploring the Freelands, right? And anybody else who plays in your world are all just doing this. They just keep on hearing these people doing shit in the Freelands. Eventually, like, let's go to Freelands, see what this shit, and then we just kill them. Because
we don't like competition.
agitators.
Well, I know that you guys typically have a flair of seeking out like kingdom building and exercising with like actual leadership in game. So this provides a really good opportunity for you guys to pursue that. And if you ever get bored with free lands, you've got other lands that you can explore as well.
Also, our kingdom building for this builds up the lore of your world.
Yeah, I was gonna say this also does help the lore and stuff like that.
I don't even fuck it up.
Don't play.
So I mean, don't feel like inside some of our other games where I've been like, please, for the love of God, don't world build or don't empire build on me. This game, you can totally do it.
Hey, to be fair, generally when it's empire building, it's me or Murdoch doing the empire building. This time we're making sure Tom's
You're
taking care of it.
coaxing Tom into it this time.
Whoa, we didn't coax anything.
But Tom is doing it so willingly.
Tom
Well, no,
was
like-
receptive to the idea.
I wanted to play against type. Like, I intentionally decided, like, because I remember at one point it's like, I want to see Tom play barbarian. It's like, okay, I'm gonna come out from like the completely opposite direction though. Like, he's gonna be a noble who falls into a savage and has a pathological need to be a hero to the people. And then it's just like, here's the people naturally become kings at the end of their story. So here we are.
See, this is where I wish you could have two backgrounds. I wish you had noble and folk hero.
So essentially, if you guys decide to, you can, of course, fully rebuild your characters if you need to. Essentially, it's a 33-point buy system. The normal point buy restrictions as far as how high you can bring a stat are still in effect. As far as suggestions, I would suggest pretty much what you guys are already probably thinking. For Tom, I would say probably Path of the Totem would be a good option. And I would actually look at some of the totems from Sword Coast Adventure because they added some inside there. And you probably find some that you like.
All right.
For Jeremy, there's two that I think you might like.
I was probably going to go fighter scout.
Okay, three actually, because I forgot about Fighter Scout.
Fighter scout. I mean, it was that, or I was gonna see if I could multi-class fighter rogue.
I was gonna say Fighter Scout would be good, or my other suggestion would be Rogue Assassin's kind of the obvious choice, but the other one would be option 3 is the Rogue Inquisitor, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, I know. I saw the Inquisitor. It's not exactly the way I was playing, but I did like it.
Yeah, it's a little bit more study target, less like, because your character's a little bit more like foot forward, action ready kind of.
Yeah.
So I think the Scout might be a better option.
The Scout take care of that. Plus, mixed with the fact that he's as much as he's a warforged, he's willing to go into the wild and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I was reading this. It pretty much has everything I like, everything that fits, because it's very flexible.
Where's the Fighter Scout?
It's from
Unearthed Arcana.
He gets the combat superiority, but then he also gets natural explorer that Rangers get. That's pretty much it.
Let's see.
Other than that, he gets the rest of that. I mean,
the other thing, of course, would be Swashbuckling Rogue, just because you guys are looking at privateering as well.
Where's the Swashbuckling Rogue?
Is it Swashbuckling Rogue?
Yeah,
Also, Murdoch.
The Swashbuckler is a rogue.
Murdoch, I was gonna say you might want to look at Unearthed Arcana for bards.
Where's the Unearthed Arcana for bards?
Here, because
I'm trying to think if there are any bard articles.
There's Bard College of Swords and Bard College of Satire.
Yeah, there's Satire and Swords, which Swords is like a
You're more of a fighty bard.
It's like a finesse bard, whereas like the College of Valor is more like a
fighting style.
Combat.
You gain a fighting style, gain blade flourish, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, the blade flourish is.
You actually get an extra attack at level 6. That's something and battle magic at 14.
Yeah, but it's all with blades. I don't want to use blades. I want to be a swashbuckling.
I was gonna say, if it makes you feel any better, the Swashbuckling Rogue is really designed for you to dual wield with like finesse weapons. It's a different feel. Like if you mean like swashbuckler as in like a guy who shoots a pistol, carries a gun, it would be a little bit different. Like right now, probably the best option would be College of Valor.
Valor.
I was thinking going Lord simply because I like the aspects of Orange knowing things he absolutely doesn't know.
I was gonna say, I think the way you played it, lore makes a little bit more sense. Especially because you have the gun. I think your character's only fired it once, and I feel like it's going to be more of a threat than necessarily an action for you.
Yeah. All right. So I think I know what I'm going to go with.
So for the classes in question, Barbarian unfortunately gets no gun proficiencies.
Shame.
I don't think who does get gun proficiencies really.
The
I should
fighter.
get hand-cannon proficiency.
The fighter gets long arms and pistols, and then the bard would get pistols. And then, of course, when Brennan joins us, I'm just going to boot him up to first level. That way, he's not horribly gimped and dying left and right with you guys.
Yeah.
So we're going to be at first level then?
Yeah, the next time we do a Stratmur game with all of you.
Cool.
Or if you join a drop in, drop out that happens to be the region where your character's in, then that would be fine.
All right, cool.
That's pretty much what I've got for now. Do you guys have anything that you'd like to give me as far as feedback or anything like that? We'll wait till the broadcast is offline. For everybody who tuned in, thank you, of course. It's been a lot of fun. I did Stratmur as kind of a pet project to do world building and show how I do my world building. And so it was really nice to actually dust it off, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I will say that that right now my Stratmur thumbnail cards are probably my favorite ones because I found a really awesome image. But that's just totally fun, extra stuff. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in, and as always, we'll see you at the gaming table.
I hate you all.